Baton Rouge, expect to see thunderstorms with a high of 84. Coming up today on Off the Bench, presented by All-Star Toyota, LSU head football coach Ed Ogeron stops by at 7:30. Raising Cane's CEO Todd Graves calls in at 8:30, and Nick Underhill stops by at 9:30 to talk Saints. Remember, we also have our OTB mailbag today, so get your questions in, tweet them, ask them in the YouTube chat using the hashtag OTB mailbag, and we'll get them answered at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and now on TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on Cox Sports Television. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome in. OTB, the boys are finally back. So, Danny was out Monday, Tuesday last week. I was at the latter half of the week. Jake missed yesterday. So, this is the first time, a couple of Fridays ago, that all four of us have been here. T-Bob Hebert, Jake Hester, Mario Jerez, and Danny Cardenas hanging out with you this morning. Imagine the irony of getting eye surgery to see better, only to then be completely blinded, because that is what Jacob Hester is currently dealing with.
Not completely blind, just still a little sensitive to light, but it's okay because I'm going to be able to see even better here in a couple. Actually, I went yesterday and I can already see better. It's just the sensitivity to light. And, you know, Gordy's got all these fancy lights here in studio, so...
I was about to say, good thing we're not in like a lighted TV studio or anything.
It's great. Yeah. So it's fine. But you know what? I couldn't leave you hanging. I felt bad about yesterday. So today, I had to be here. We got a lot of stuff to get to. Coach O's going to be here. Tuesday's a big day for us, so I'm here.
In case you in case you didn't feel old already, Jake, with your failing eyesight and everything else, you look like one of the old people on the HD sunglasses commercials, where they put on those big honks like, wow, look, I can see everything so much better now.
Go ahead. You can you can make fun of me inside the chat. I can't see it, so it doesn't really matter to me.
So let's be. I want to be painfully clear about the circumstances under which Jake is operating here. He literally cannot see it. Like, I mean, if he can open his eyes, he can see things, but he really can't open his eyes. So like, he can't read texts. He can't read the document or any of the notes that we have.
He bumped into the desk on the way in.
Yeah,
Mario, that was just you and I.
There are questions abound whether or not how he got into work. But yeah, it's going to be a fascinating day. For the past few days, he has been floating inside of his mind, and he will do the next 3 hours of the show as he continues to float in the what do they call them, the tanks where you float and it's like no senses or whatever.
I don't really know. That's above my pay grade, but I did have to watch TV like a little bit different. Obviously, I couldn't stare at the screen because it's still sensitive to light, but Katie watched Mayor of Easttown on HBO.
Great show.
And it was very interesting to kind of listen to it, and that's how I figured out kind of how everything was going on.
You could I just
like a book.
Binged Mayor of Easttown last week, and yeah, you could actually. It's very dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
There's not only just like a lot of visual reveals. You could absolutely just listen to that. Great show, by the way. All right, let's go ahead, though, and dive in to some headlines.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys, for those who are born to grill. Visit bbqguys.com to learn more.
All right, in LSU football news, some bad news. As LSU starting left tackle Dare Rosenthal expected to enter the transfer portal. They are saying too many school violations. I would imagine, just from given the context of the past and what has happened, though this has not been officially reported on. I'm not like citing any inside sources here. Maybe like weed or something as far as the drug policy goes at LSU. But a really disappointing potential end to a guy whose career had really great potential at times at LSU. I mean, especially after watching him in the spring, he was starting to look like a true shutdown left tackle. Thought he could have been one of the huge draft drivers, and maybe he still will be, but it will not be in an LSU uniform.
Yeah, there's been multiple times he's had to miss games because of suspensions or different things or whatever it might be. and LSU was counting on him to be able to be there every single game, be the bookend left tackle that we know he can be. Like, he's got all the skill set in the world, and now they can't count on him. So now they have to turn to someone else. Now, like, everything that they've tried to get him to this point, right? Well, now he's going somewhere else, and so you have to look at the roster. Okay, who can be the guy to step in at left tackle? I know we're going to talk about it a lot later. There's some guys that played last year because of necessity. Is that the answer? Is that the guy that you want to put there? Are you going to put a young guy, somebody highly touted, and say, hey, you're going to play left tackle? Do you move Deculus to left tackle? I don't think that's the answer, but there's going to be some questions when it comes to left tackle.
Yeah, at 8, we'll really break it down at length. Look, Cam Wire certainly factors into the replacement conversation. He's already your swing guard or tackle for both sides. And the interesting piece would be Anthony Bradford, a guy who, if y'all listen to this show enough, you know that I came out of spring very excited about him, feeling like LSU now had 8 linemen that looked field ready for the fall. Unfortunately, that number now just down to 7. But Bradford, as a potential left tackle replacement, although I think it's a step back from where Dare was at, is exciting over the long term. But I don't really know a way of spinning this as a positive, right? I mean, I've already said that my biggest concern on the team may be the O-line depth, and you lost your starting left tackle. Or you will. And so that's not very good. Yesterday, into better news, new LSU head baseball coach Jay Johnson was introduced to the public and the media. He had his opening press conference. I was over there in the Champions Club, and I want to talk about it a lot at 7:15. But right here, look, something that one of the big questions surrounding Johnson coming in was, look, you're a West Coast lifer. How would you fit in the SEC? And I don't believe that Johnson was playing to the crowd yesterday when he was kind of exalting LSU baseball and Skip Bertman and Paul Maneri. This is a cat who really legitimately sounds like he was just a bit of an LSU nerd growing up. Here is Coach Johnson on being inspired by Skip Bertman.
Right there, because winning is about people and getting people to do things that they didn't think were possible. Everybody knows what a good baseball player looks like. They can see it. It's tangible. You can touch it. You can put it on a radar gun. You can look at it with pitchability. But it's another thing to get that person to really believe that they're important, they have value, and they can become anything that they want to become. So the hold on to the rope story was told in a small town in California, like, we'll go 2001, so 20 years ago. And I believe that was the start of my journey here. So, Coach, thank you for showing exactly how this was to be done.
So what he's referencing there, talking about the hold the rope story being told, I guess Skip Bertman had instructional tapes, some VHSs on how to win the big one. And Johnson, as a young 20-year-old coach, actually had those tapes and carried over Bertman's ethos to this small junior college out there in California. Here is Jay Johnson on not shying away from the expectations that comes with a hire like LSU.
I get asked all the time, how are you going to do it? Okay, it's LSU, okay? Expectations, all of those types of things. That's why I came here. You stare challenges in the face, and you go do it. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to recruit. What does that mean? Okay, we're going to sell a vision of the elite college baseball program in the country where anything is possible. You get a chance to be the next Warren Morris at the plate in the 9th inning of the College World Series and come through. You get a chance to be the next Alex Bregman. Everything is possible here. Not easy. Every day will matter in terms of building you to that point in time. And at that point in time, you'll be ready when that is what's called for.
Yeah, we'll continue to talk about the key themes that arose in the press conference, but development, right? That seems to be his main focus. And when you look at the offensive success that he's created in his career, that seems to be something that he's been very successful at, Jake.
Yeah, and I love that, he was somewhere that was a really good program. Like, Arizona is a good college baseball program, and then he comes to LSU because he wasn't, a young up-and-coming coach. This was a big step for him, right? He's coming from a smaller school. This was something where he was at a school, he saw a challenge, he couldn't pass that challenge up, and he's going to run towards that challenge. And I love the quote there about facing it head on. And development is kind of the word of the day in the press conference yesterday, like you mentioned, T, developing these players, getting them to be their best, and seeing last year them have success. But even, hey, if you do this, if you make this minor adjustment, you can have even more success. Already kind of having that conversation with players. I love things like that.
Yeah, we'll play some more sound coming up at 10:15, but there was a great cryptic answer about maybe a player toying with turning pro who already stopped by his office at like 11 p.m. and he already had like a scouting report ready for him. So some exciting stuff that I want to talk at length about. In the College World Series, basically everything that everybody feared would come true came true, as Jack Leiter was able to be saved for Monday due to no game on Saturday against NC State, and the pitching disparity between a Mississippi State team that had to go deeper and deeper in their staff and Vanderbilt team who did not was abundant. As after one inning, it was 7-1. I mean, a great start for Mississippi State, right? A home run off a Leiter first inning. Oh, my God, it's all happening. And then 7 runs just really, I mean, it just threw water on the entire affair. Vandy and the Whistler end up holding it down 8-2 by night's end. It really sucked as far as game one because it felt like it was over just as it began. Hopefully, though, I think I read that 4 of the past 5 national champions have lost game one in this scenario. So I know this Mississippi State team is deep. They got fight. Hopefully they can come back tonight, win this game, at least make it exciting, and give us a little something to cheer for us kind of impartial observers.
Yeah, I think there's I don't want to put a percent on it, but how many percent of people do you think right now are actually going for Vanderbilt after how they got in? There's a lot of the country right now that's hoping Mississippi State can bounce back.
They
and
have
get
3
this
things working against them, right? They're not the underdog. They're the favorite, which never puts people on your side. Like you said, they got gifted in, which is never going to put people on your side, and they got the Whistler, and who likes him? Nobody. I mean, it's 3 horrible strikes against them.
And it's SEC versus SEC, so like either way, like as an LSU fan, it's like, what do I do here?
Yeah.
Do I just hope it continues to rain in Omaha and they just don't get to play?
I for the record, it's a yes. I'm cheering for Mississippi State. I would actually like to have Mississippi State has never won a team national championship. They're one of 3 Power 5 schools or something where that is the case.
Yeah, I asked Rivers that on Friday. I don't remember if it was on the air right when we got done. I said, I was like, basketball, football. I was like, have they won a championship? No, they haven't. Like, no. I knew the answer. Like, I didn't know the answer. That was not a rhetorical question.
Or it has to be, well, they've won the women's basketball, so it must be maybe the big 3 or something. I don't know, whatever. In the NBA playoffs, the Clippers win 116-102 to stave off elimination. Paul George drops 41 points. And look, still 3-2. Phoenix Suns still in the catbird seat. But if you're Chris Paul, with the playoff history that you have, I can't help but wonder if there's like a little seed of fear starting to creep. You're getting a little tight, as my grandpa would say. Clench your hand together. That's what's happening. You're tightening up a little bit.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. I mean, he kind of joked about it after they took the 3-1 lead, and he's like, me and 3-1s. I don't know if we need to talk about this. So he knows it. It's not in the back of his mind. It is on the front of his mind that he has blown the 3-1 lead before. I don't think it's going to happen this time. I think this is a different team, but let's watch him next game. Let's see how he plays, because it is something that, man, you have that go in your career, and that is a horror that you cannot get out of. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, shout out to Paul George, who has showed up really big a lot of these playoffs. 41 last night.
Pandemic Paul.
Bucks Hawks tonight, game 4, 6:30 p.m. Another game where you could argue the series is on the line, right? Like the difference between 3-1 and 2-2 is the series the majority of the time. Can Trae Young and the Hawks get it done in Milwaukee tonight? We'll wait and see. How about yesterday's Euro slate? Oh my God. If you are not watching Euro 2020, even if you're like avoiding the highlights for some crazy reason, you are missing out. It was an incredible day of knockout games yesterday as Spain and Croatia go to extra time before Spain ends up getting it done 5-3. Croatia looked like they were about to win it in the 95th after a comeback. It was just insane all around. And then, so everybody was like, oh, that's the game of the tournament. Only then to be upstaged by the game of the tournament with a crazy back and forth affair between France and the Swiss. The Swiss take the 1-0 lead. France jumps all the way to 3-1. And like the 75th, it's over, right? No, they stop playing. The Swiss tie it. It goes to extra time, PKs. And of all the people, Mbappe can't get it done. And France, the favorites, knocked out. Just an awesome day of soccer.
France had really subbed off all of their main penalty takers.
Yeah.
I mean, all their kickers, they had subbed them off in the game, obviously not thinking you're going to penalties there. And so they had some center backs taking the penalty kicks. And Mbappe comes up, and I was telling Katie, we're listening to it. She was watching. And I said, this is like one of the best young players, if not the best young player in the world. And she goes, oh, he's about to miss it.
Oh, wow.
And, I set it up. I'm like, he's good. These center backs have been putting it in the top bin. Mbappe, no problem. He misses it.
Yeah, it was just a wild day. Congrats to the Swiss. What's on the docket today, Jake?
You got Germany, England. And what's the other?
It's Ukraine, Sweden.
Sweden, yes.
Ukraine, Sweden.
Germany, England is the headliner. That's going to be one that I think everybody pays attention to. Germany's kind of been up and down. England's got so many ghosts in its closet. I don't know if they can ever get out of it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I said I'm taking the English because the Suns are going to the finals tonight, and that didn't happen. So maybe that's an omen of things to come for our UK brethren. We shall see. All right, when we get back here and that guy. I mean, how about that guy? Did you see him?
Yeah.
Well, you can't see. But yeah, the shirtless guy.
I know you're talking about though.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
All right, we got to go. We've gone long. Coming up next, let's talk about Jay Johnson yesterday. What our big takeaways from the press conference were. And then we got Coach O coming up at 7:30. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
If you were born to grill, you have to go to Barbecue Guys for all your grilling and outdoor living needs. With the largest selection of top grills and outdoor products and best-in-class customer service, Barbecue Guys has it all. Visit bdqguys.com. That's bdqguys.com. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
You'd have to be blind not to recognize the incredible deals at All-Star Toyota. Even Jake can see the value of going to All-Star Toyota right there off of Airline. Look, if you're looking to rent, there is not a better or cheaper place to rent from. You want to rent the Toyota Sienna minivan I'm always talking about. Maybe, test out the waters a little bit. Maybe you want to take it to like Disney or something with the family. You can do that with All-Star. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. A great resource. You can talk to people, start to peruse some of the deals. And also, Jake, right now is the time to sell.
It is, because we've been talking about it the last couple of weeks. You're going to have more value for your vehicle. They are looking for vehicles to be able to take on, right? So once you do that, you're going to need something new, right? You're going to need a new vehicle, so many different options, midsize, full-size SUVs, trucks, sedans, hybrids, you name it. They have it. So once you trade in, go check out those new vehicles over at All-Star and All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Dare Rosenthal transferring out. What does LSU do at left tackle? And how does Jay Johnson fill out his coaching staff? We'll talk. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what is going on, y'all? Welcome back. Off the Bench. T-Bob, Jake, Mario, and Danny. The boys are back in town. We got mailbag coming up next hour. If you want to put your mailbag questions in, we will put them on the list. Right now, we got Coach O coming up in about eight minutes. Right now, though, Jake, I want to talk about Jay Johnson. I have just a list of kind of from the, like, I wrote these down live as we were listening, right? And it's just a list of some of my thoughts. So I figure maybe I read him, you react to him, right? Or something along those lines. Or, you know what? I've said my piece a little bit. What were your thoughts on Johnson's presser yesterday?
I mean, I liked what I heard. I even wrote someone that was listening to it, and I was like, that feels like someone who wants to attack this challenge.
Yeah.
Because it is a challenge. We know that. We know the expectations. There might not be a baseball job with bigger expectations, even with the way that the SEC has put all its resources into baseball in a lot of different places, but it is a challenge. But it doesn't have to be a challenge that is unattainable, right? I mean, because you still are LSU. And I liked how he mentioned that multiple times. Like, this is the mecca of college baseball. We have to, we have to live up to that. And he's okay with that, because someone has to know that, you lose 2 midweek games in a row, then people are going to be, hey, why'd you lose those 2 midweek games? If you lose 2 series in a row, they're going to ask those questions. Okay, so you have to have someone with that attitude to be able to be okay with that and be able to know that it's the long road and not the short road to success, and to be okay with criticism, because it's going to come, fair, unfair.
Yeah, and here is Jay Johnson on kind of the LSU fan base and not shying away from that pressure.
We're going to take the best parts of that. There's only a handful of programs around the country that you can count where this many people show up at a college baseball game. And what I want to do, what I think is important that we do, is create the best home field advantage in college baseball, and I've heard that's what we have here. And then put a product on the field that they're extremely proud of, that when the Tigers show up, they know what they're going to get. They can't wait to get to the ballpark, after a long day of work. And they can't wait to high-five the players, down the line after a big win. And they can't wait to send their kids to baseball camp, because they feel like they're a part of this thing.
I mean, I love that in terms of just like having a vision and kind of speaking it into existence. Again, what stood out to me, and you can hear in the answers, not the most charismatic, but an intense focus. Did not fumble over his words, right? Somebody who, it felt like every word was almost very meticulously placed, but not in an insincere way, if that makes any sense. Like, I just thought that it's just his style of delivery, but he was very sincere and genuine and believes in what he was saying. He's definitely a preparation freak.
Yeah.
Like you just get that feeling through reading reporting by Wilson Alexander and others who have done very good write-ups on kind of his past and his processes. When he talked about his wife and just the incredible sacrifices she has to make in order to be married to him. It just sounds like he is gathering information 24/7, even when he's talking about what his goals are right now, where they kept trying to ask about hiring coach, and he's like, honestly, he's like, look, there's no timetable on that. We're going to get the right people. But he was really focused on right now, I have to be focused on learning our team, scouting our players, putting together plans for our players, dealing with the transfer portal, both stopping departures, maybe bringing in guys, roster management. The MLB draft is right around the corner. So, like, already he was saying it's kind of funny. Press conference today, he said he's been knee deep in it for 5 days, right? So he's a preparation freak, Jake. I think there are a lot of people, though, that just because you're working a ton doesn't mean you're doing good work necessarily, right? There are a lot of coaches out there that will grind 15-hour days, but they may not be good coaches.
Right.
Ultimately, and I think he has this, given his track record in developing hitters, ultimately what separates the guys who can grind and be successful, who can't, are, okay, you have all this information, now can you pare it down, right? Can you cut away the fat and just cut down to the most important crux points, and then can you transmit that information to the player? This is something that great leaders, a lot of times, not all of them, but a lot of times great leaders have this ability. One of my favorite biographies I've ever read was the FDR one, and that's what they always talk about, right? You give him all this dense information, and instantly he could ask like the one question that matters. So can Jay Johnson, with all this stuff, can he pare it down and then give what truly will have an impact to his players to improve on?
I do like where his mindset is as far as knowing he's got a really good team coming back.
Yeah.
Knowing that he has the potential to have a great team coming back. There's a couple of guys that could be 8, 9, 10, 11 round range in the Major League Baseball draft, and that's his challenge to be able to talk those guys into coming back to school, right? And you've got some young players who are without doubt building blocks in Cruz and Morgan. I mean, they're going to be two of the best players in the country next year. So you have that. You talk those guys into not going to the draft, coming back for a special season because everybody, obviously got an extra year. Is there going to be some guys that probably didn't play this year? They're a little upset. They came to LSU to play. They didn't get a chance to go out there on the weekends. They were midweek guys, and they just can't understand the big picture. Yeah, they're probably going to leave. But he has to do a nice job, and I think he knows exactly who he's talking about when he says, let's recruit these guys. Let's get these guys back, commit to this year, because we've got a special group coming back, especially when it comes to the lineup, which is his baby, right? That is what he takes care of, is obviously, the lineup and, kind of the hitting coach himself. So do that first. See who you have coming back. Then you hit the portal for some missing pieces. We talked about, we don't know what the rotation looks like. That doesn't say that you're going to have a bad one. We just don't know what it's going to look like we did a year ago. I would assume they add a veteran arm to this team, maybe two, as far as starting options, because everyone's going to be young. But I like the approach, hey, let's get us right first. Let's get our team back that I think has a chance to be a really nice baseball team, and then we'll start to piece everything else together.
Yeah, he has some sayings. And look, if you are one of those players who's maybe upset with how last year went, also recognize this is your best opportunity to this is a clean slate, right? New coach, right? This is your opportunity to kind of change whatever thoughts the coaching staff had maybe formed around you. And they can be concrete at times, right? So this is like as clean of a slate as you'll get. But yeah, I do love his ethos where he talked about basically recruit, develop, win, right? And win works two ways. It's not just the word win, but it also stands for what's important now. And that's another theme that he kept returning to, right? What can we do now that results in a championship down the road in the future? And so that's why he's already, his main goal right now is figuring out his own players, right? How can they improve during Summer Ball? What do they need to be focusing on? Also, it was interesting to hear him talk about recruiting, but then really stress that more important than the recruiting. Now, you have to have the recruiting first. You got to put the right people in place. But once you have that clay to mold, the most important factor is development. And that's just, he kept going back, recruit, develop, win, recruit, develop, win. And when you look at one of the main lines of criticism about this, the last few years of LSU baseball, that's been it, right? A lack of development, where you'll have a freshman phenom who comes on and kills it, but then doesn't show that improvement over the years. At least in theory, that should change with Jay Johnson.
Yeah, or, you get someone who is a fringe top recruit. He's not necessarily the top guy. Maybe he went to a couple of the different showcases, but he didn't get invited to all of them. But you see something in him that you can develop to be a star, right? Because he's probably done that at Arizona. Now, Arizona's a great program, but he hasn't had exactly the caliber that he's going to have at LSU. So I'm sure he's done a nice job of finding that guy, developing him, because there was something he saw at a showcase that says, hey, you know what? I can turn this guy into a 15 home run a year type guy. Those are the kind of guys that he wants to go after as well. Like, you want to get the top tier, you want to develop them, not just stay stagnant, but you also want to take that project that you see something in and develop it to being an all-SEC type player. I'm excited about a couple of guys that he's obviously going to get a chance to work with, but maybe none more so than Jordan Thompson. I think there is a lot of Jordan Thompson's game. Although he had a really, really good freshman year, I think there's something that a guy like this can unlock. I think as far as his approach and some just the different things, being both West Coast guys, I'm sure they're going to have a bond from the get-go. I'm excited to see the development of him, because he can go from a nice player to a great player from his freshman to sophomore year.
Yeah, and even yesterday we talked about a story from his time at San Diego where he had a catcher who was in the lineup because he's incredible defensively, but was just a black hole in the lineup. And he developed him over a couple of years into a near 300 hitter that actually came up with like a game-winning 3-run home run in a regional. And the catcher was just talking about how empowering it was to have that plan provided to him by the staff. So that would seem to fit perfectly with LSU as well. When we get back, let's talk to Coach O about this LSU football team. We'll ask about Dare Rosenthal as well as what else is going on right now. Keep it locked right here. If you're watching on CST, YouTube, listen on the radio. We'll see you on the other side.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, 925-8552. Jake's always telling me about the full bathroom remodel that they could affect, but I want to talk to you about the dirty work, right? Anything goes wrong, any plumbing issue whatsoever. Central Plumbing's been at it for nearly 5 decades. And meaning you're not going to be able to hit them with anything that they don't know how to solve or haven't seen before. Old house, new house, it doesn't matter. You got flat rate pricing, licensed, bond, and insured. And just think about the growth, right? And the great warranty as well. But think about the growth over 50 years. You don't stand the test of time, Jake, unless your customers are consistently satisfied. Go to Central Plumbing.
But don't forget that 24/7 emergency service isn't only because of those dirty problems, right? It can be because of that water heater that's not just working right? You're trying to bathe the kids, it's not working right. They'll come out, they'll repair that after hours as well. 225-925-8552, centralplumbing.org.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jdacody.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Summertime when the fishing's easy. At least it will be if you go get your marine electronics from Front to Back Boat Service. That's right. It is time to take your boat to a new level. You want brand new troll motors. You want cameras. You can see the fish under the water in HD before you even cast. You want brand new speakers for that thing. You want Front to Back Boat Service. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com. Find them on Facebook, 225-928-9644.
Join me, Jimmy, out for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're live from Mike Anderson Seafood on Nicholson, just off of Lee. Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB, CST, radio, YouTube, everywhere. And it is Tuesday at 7:30, which means one thing. We are joined by the head man of LSU football, Coach O. Coach O, what's going on? I thought, is the staff on vacation out here? You're finally getting a little break after this recruiting craziness of the last month?
We're going to split up the month of July. Some of the staff in, some of the staff are out. But it's time for a little break. We've been going 30 days straight, but I tell you, it was a great June for the LSU Tigers. I enjoyed every minute.
Yeah, I know that you definitely love just getting back out there, like hands-on with the players, the new private workouts you could do. We'll talk about all this. Let's start with something that's in the headlines right now. Dare Rosenthal expected to enter the transfer portal. What are your thoughts on the Rosenthal situation?
Yeah, listen, LSU loves Dare. Dare loved LSU. I recruited him out of Faraday High School. A defensive lineman came here. He's going to be a great left offensive tackle. He had some personal situations that he had to take care of. It was a hard decision for him, but we wish him the best. We're going to miss him.
In some other news, I heard through the grapevine that some old school techniques may be returning. Jake, I think you're going to appreciate this. The boys are running stadiums on Fridays now. This is like early Tommy Moffitt, like circa 2000 type stuff here.
That's right. T-Bob, we wanted to do something different. We didn't want it to be saying, it's my 5th year here, and I needed to change. I needed to change some things. And I go run the stadiums myself. And I said, you know what? It'd be great to bring the team in here. So what we've done is the last 4 Friday mornings, we said we're going to have 4 quarters. And the first quarter was 10 stadiums. The second Friday was 12. The third Friday was 14. And last Friday was 16 stadiums. I was so proud of our football team. It was a team bonding deal. You turn on the lights at Tiger Stadium, that's our house. It's only us in there. Our team was fighting and pushing and pulling for each other. It was an outstanding team-building exercise. And you found out which guys can gut it out. You found out about the new guys, and the team came together.
So take us, give us a visual here, though, Coach. So are we talking about just straight up running from field level to the very top? Are we talking about running the ramps, the stairs? How's it work?
Yeah, right there in the tunnel when we come out, we use that little section right there. And we didn't use the bottom. We ran about 60 stairs. And we didn't use the bottom because there was no room for the team to line up. So we went on the second platform, and we ran up and ran to the right, ran all the way to the top, and coming down, that's one. It's about 60 stairs. And we started with 10 and we ended up with 16. It was tough.
Coach, did your coaches ever make you run any stairs up in Natchitoches back in the day?
Me and your daddy were talking about that the other day. Many a time we ran stadiums, I promise you. And sometimes on the weekends when we got punished a little bit.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. I know Joey Hester made me run Independence Stadium in Shreveport plenty of times, so I love to hear that. Hey, Coach, over the last couple of days, we've been talking about position battle and positions that are really going to go after each other during training camp to try to earn that starting position. And that's not necessarily a bad thing from a coaching perspective because you're going to have competition. You know it's going to bring the best guy to the top. So what are some of those positions that you're really going to hone in on training camp and you're excited to see who kind of rises to the top?
Quarterback. It's going to be fun. I see them every day competing, man. Those two great young men. But the good thing about Max and Miles and Garrett, as you know, they're best friends.
Yeah.
My son plays quarterback. You got these quarterbacks hang around together. They work. But I'm telling you what, they're competing. They competed on the stadiums and everything they're doing. I want to see our running backs. I want to see what Tyron Davis is in the best shape he's been. John Emery has done a great job at summer school. He's making all A's right now.
Okay.
Working very hard. Seems like he's in good shape. Josh Williams, Corey Conner, Amani Goodwin looks like he's a guy that's going to play for us early. I got to see our running backs. I got to see who's going to start at safety. Jay Ward coming back to safety. Who's it going to be? And the other is going to be Jordan Toles, Todd Harris, Sage Ryan, Derek Davis. All those guys can play. Matthew Langwell looks great. And then on the defensive line, I'm telling you what, we got some young guys at Mason Smith and Bryce Langston. I'm going to push these guys.
Yeah. If you could expound on that a little bit, Coach. Somebody in the chat earlier wanted me to specifically ask about this young D-line class, especially given your past where nobody understands the position better.
I think it's the best one of recruiters since I've been here, but only time will tell. Mason Smith on the stadiums, ran every stadium. Looks like an athlete, great shape. In fact, he beat some of the varsity guys.
Wow.
Bryce Langston made every one. It's his first time here. Looks very quick in the football skill drills. Savion Jones hasn't missed a stadium. He's in great shape, a great pass rusher. So I do think those guys are going to be tremendous football players. The only thing that happens is, those guys, as you know, T-Bob, when you come in the SEC, you got to play with technique. You just can't run up the field and stuff like that. So it depends how much pad work we can get with them and how much we can get them in game shape. I think all of those guys are contributing.
Coach, is that the toughest thing on the defensive line to get, that highly touted high school guys to learn is you can't just overpower every person in the SEC. You're going to have to use the technique that we coach because, hey, those Jimmies and Joes have been recruited as well, and they're really good football players.
That's right. There's one day you're going to get up against a guy that's as big and bad as you are.
Yep.
And Jacob T-Bob, you heard this. That's when you got to dig in your toolbox.
Yep.
You got to go back on the sideline. You got to dig in your toolbox. He's doing this. When he does this, Coach taught me to do this. And, one of the things about playing football is you guys know when you're on the sideline, people don't understand, it's a personal battle. When you're on the sideline, you got to be thinking, okay, he's doing this to me. I got to do this to him. You got to win on the sideline. I know you guys have been a part of that. Your coach got to give you the X's and O's. He's got to give you the adjustments. But only he's giving me a hi-hat. He's giving me an arm here. T-Bob, you know that. The guy's slanting. He's coming over here. Jacob, you know that linebacker's telling you when he's blitzing. Those are the things you can feel only as a player because the coach can't see that from the sideline.
Yeah, we're talking to LSU head football coach Ed Ogeron here on Off the Bench. Coach, what about on the offensive line? So with the Rosenthal news, some space cleared up. Who's now competing for that job?
Well, it's going to be Cam Wire. We got Cam listed at left tackle. Cam's done a good job. He was the sixth player going in last year. It's a good guy. He's got to step up. Garrett Dellinger, to me, is a young man that's proved that he's physical. He's smart. He learned his plays. He's in great shape. He's a guy that's going to have to be the sixth guy. I don't know who's the second left tackle right now, to be honest with you. Is it Marcus Somerville? Is it Xavier Hill? Is it Anthony Bradford? We may try out there, move out there. I don't know, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's something that, look, those guys just have to embrace that opportunity. This is your chance to assert yourself. What about in terms of their coach? How is Coach Davis continuing to gel with the group and, kind of joining midstream here with the staff?
outstanding. He's hit the ground running from Baton Rouge. He loves it. Very intelligent coach, professional, articulate when he speaks in the meeting. He's the leader, and he does a great job of recruiting, a great job of evaluating. Doesn't mind speaking up in a meeting where we have a staff meeting. He's a leader. I think the kids love him. He's from Baton Rouge. He's funny. But he's a disciplinarian. The first day, T-Bob, Jake, how you break meetings and you let them go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And then you come back to your meeting. Well, they went to the bathroom too long. He wasn't happy. I love that. You know what I mean? You know how it is. Bathroom breaks can be about 2 or 3 minutes, and some make it about 8.
Yep.
And he didn't like that. And then if some of them came to the meeting with some flip-flops on, you come here dressed ready to go for practice. I loved it.
Coach, does it almost help the fact that you do have a new offensive line coach and something like this situation happens? Because in his mind, all these guys are kind of on the same level because they're all fresh on his mind. He doesn't have a predetermined of what they did a year ago. So he's looking at it fresh. And so that way when you have to plug someone new in, you've got an idea just from when you've been here, not from what they did a year ago.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. Change is good. A new pair of eyes. And I told the guys, here's going to be a different than James thought is going to, but change is good. There's a new challenge. Anytime you have a new coach, you get to prove yourself. And also, as you know, the coach doesn't have any predetermined thoughts of last year or something like that. Sometimes you get locked in. I think it's good for both parts.
Coaches, I know it's never really calm because y'all seem to just work 24/7, but does this portion of the year sort of have that calm before the storm sort of feeling? Are you starting to get a little geeked up?
Yeah, this is some time where I get to work on myself personally. I've got some projects that I want to get done this summer to help me be a better coach. It's some things I take some personal time to focus. I'm going to spend some time with my kids because I'm not going to see them. The only time I'm going to see Cody is going to be at Tiger Stadium. So me and my boys going to spend some time. I like to work out. We'll be out working out. Me and my boys are going to Destin for a couple of weeks. We're going to be leaving tomorrow. Just a little time off. We love to go eat dinner together, laugh and joke around. But when I get on the beach, I get some time by myself, focus in what I want to do this year as me as a better coach. So I think as you guys know, when you go away, I ask the players, sit back and spend some personal time. Where are you at? Where do you need to get better? Write it down and get it done.
Love it. Coach O, thank you so much, man, for coming on every Tuesday. I know it's crazy busy. Enjoy the vacation with the boys, and we look forward to talking with you when you get back.
Thank you, guys. Go Tigers.
Yes, sir.
Let's
there
go.
he is, the head man of LSU football, Coach Ed Ogeron. I like that little introspective, meditative, that's something that we could all do, right? All right, when we get back, let's close up hour number 1 of Off the Bench. Go ahead and get your mailbag questions in for hour 2, and I'm finally going to get to ask Todd Graves about that Triceratops head that I've loved for so many years. I'll be back more OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to GEAUXroof.com. That's GoRoof.com. 927-8300 is the number. 927-8300. You hit up that number, answer the phone, you say, roof's up, and they'll chuckle, right? And they're like, hey, what's up? What do you need? And you're like, well, look, a bad storm came through last night. I think there was hail. I don't know. Can you just come see where I'm out? Yeah, for sure. They'll do it for free. That's right, a free professional estimate from Go Roof. Doesn't cost anything up front. So if you have any concerns or questions, you just you call them up, you get them out there. They let you know exactly where you stand, and then you make a fully informed decision about what comes next. And when the work starts, of course, everyone's lifespan insured, but they go the extra mile. A 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. So you have peace of mind at every stage of the process. Very fun to work with, very easy to work with. And when you work with Go Roof, you'll learn. You get a beautiful new roof every shingle time.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Introducing Vizzy Lemonade, the only lemonade hard seltzer with antioxidant vitamin C. All new Vizzy Lemonade. Step up your seltzer game.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at patientplusuc.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Middle Relief. We talk some LSU baseball as Jay Johnson is looking to fill out his staff. The LSU football team is also getting closer and closer to training camp and more. Tune in 12 to 3 p.m. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Going to be a quick segment here. It's kind of the same as yesterday, right? Wanted to give Coach Maneri some rope. Definitely wanted to give Coach O some rope there as he was...
So I could hold the rope?
Recapping. It's a crazy month. Just an insane... 24/7 sort of month. And now, as I said, this is the calm before the storm. As a fan, this even feels like the calm before the storm, right? NBA is about to be over. Thankfully, we have the Euros, but that is now hurtling towards its end. I'm not an NHL guy, but that's about to be over. College World Series could be over as soon as tonight. And then, we kind of shift. You got SEC Media Days coming up in a couple of weeks. We shift into just straight up football mode, and the I always, this is the analogy I always use with football season. It's like once that process starts up, it's like a train hurtling down the tracks, and you just have to do everything you can to keep it on rails. Like there ain't no stopping the train. Yeah. You may be tired from last week. That doesn't matter. You got a brand new opponent to study. You got to get healthy. You got to get ready to game plan to play. And it's a whirlwind, but it is my favorite sport for all of those reasons. So much intensity each and every week, so much on the line.
Look, I actually look forward to that time of year, and I know a lot of people are like, oh, summer radio, here comes the Mount Rushmore. Not for me. I enjoy breaking down positions and going over what I think could play out during training camp. And Jeremy and I broke down the running back position. I forget if it was Wednesday or Thursday of last week, and I enjoy that stuff. I enjoy talking about guys that need to step up, guys that have their position, maybe a guy that needs to step up to be that second to the guy who has his position, because you're going to need more than one at almost every position, right? I mean, outside of quarterback, you're going to need multiple guys, and so that's the time of year we can really start to dive into who's going to win those positions. That's why I asked Coach O which one he was most excited about, because that team, is going to have quarterback, running back, safety, middle linebacker, the second and third receiver maybe behind Kayshawn, so they're going to have some position battles for sure. Good guys for those battles, but definitely position battles.
Yeah, can't wait to see how it all plays out. All right, when we get back here on OTB, hour 2, we got OTB Mailbag coming up. Todd Graves coming up, talking about his new show. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, if you're wondering why I have on sunglasses for today's show, I actually just had a PRK procedure done over the weekend, and I had LASIK about 2008, right, around my rookie year, and it started to wear off. If you started to watch me in studio, maybe I had glasses on, maybe I was squinting, that's how I realized that my eyesight was going. I thought, okay, I'm done. I'm going to be in glasses, maybe even contacts for the rest of my days. That's just what it's going to be. I did not know that I had this other option in this PRK procedure. I had it over the weekend. Yes, I'm in glasses today, but my eyesight, I went yesterday, is actually better already than it was before I went in. So I'm excited about that. WilliamsonICTR.com. Dr. Blake Williamson was fantastic. He held my hand through this entire process, told me exactly what was going to happen, what I needed to do, and it has been a life changer yet again for me. So you do have options. If you had LASIK and it's starting to wear off, you have more options. Again, WilliamsonICTR.com.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, June 29th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see thunderstorms with a high of 84. In case you missed hour one of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Still to come, Raising Cane's CEO Todd Graves calls in at 8:30, and Nick Underhill stops by at 9:30 to talk Saints. Remember, we also have our OTB mailbag today, so get your questions in. Tweet them or ask them in the YouTube chat using the hashtag OTBmailbag, and we'll get them answered for you at 8:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and now on TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on CST. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, Peter, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob, Jake, Mara, and Danny hanging out with you. I hope y'all are having a wunderbar day. I know I am. There's a little shout out to England, Germany coming up. There's no way that today's Euros can live up to yesterday's Euros, but I hope they try. And look, the first game, incredible as well, right? Like Croatia, Spain, the crazy goal that Spain concedes. Although, I mean, look, yes, the goal is screwed up. I felt like that pass was a little hot. It was kind of bouncing. But I mean, like, so Spain ends up winning, but Croatia in the 95th had a wide open shot in front of the net, and it was just an incredible save by the goal. So that game was awesome, right? How are you going to top it? What you witnessed out of the French and the Swiss yesterday is, in my limited football viewing, unlike anything I've ever seen in terms of the rhythm of the game, right? To go from Swiss up 1-0, then the Swiss have a penalty kick, and you're like, oh, my God, like France is in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. France gets a save. They rattle off 3 goals in about 25 minutes. Like, that's how you bury a team, right? The favorite finally emerged. It's over. 75th minute. It's done. And then the Swiss just, like, found a way, dude. I mean, it is everything that makes sports so great. When we're talking about the emotions and the roller coaster ride and how tense you could feel. And I just keep thinking about that fan, the Swiss fan that went viral yesterday where he rips his shirt off and he's just like, it's just pure, unbridled passion bubbling to the surface. And there's just not a lot of things in this world that can make you feel that outside of like sports where you have a rooting interest.
No, and I mean, that's the defending world champion that you beat too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, you're not down 3-1 to just anybody. You're down 3-1 to the world champion without 15 minutes to go. And look, they're a very good team. They're a top 20 team in the world, but you think it's over. You think it's done. And then to come back and then to really get to a penalty kick situation with, even though France was down some of their main takers, you still like, okay, France is going to find a way to pull this off. And France's goalkeeper was absolutely lost.
He was
during
out
the
of
PKs.
sorts. He wasn't even close.
He wasn't close. He looked like he had never done it before after saving a penalty in the match. So
I'm not gonna lie. I was at Jay Johnson's press conference, and I didn't want to look like an a-hole just watching my phone. So I was holding up my phone like I was filming his press conference, but I was actually watching the PKs on mute.
Were you in the back of the room at least?
Yeah, I was in the back of the room. No, I mean, it didn't look out of place. It looked like I was, it definitely looked like I was filming it.
T-Pop was really filming some good footage.
No, absolutely. I was locked in. So it was just an awesome match. It reminds you why sports are so great. Here's to hoping that England and Germany can live up to it today. Any other thoughts before we dive into this O-line situation?
Like one of the most cursed teams that you'll find. They have talent. Obviously, soccer, football for them, it's England's game. I mean, they are the creators, and they've never really dominated like you expect them to. Because when you look at their roster, it's just like filled with Chelsea and Man U and Man City and Tottenham and all these top clubs, and they can't get it done.
Yeah, and Germany, on the other hand, has always had a ton of tournament success, right? They've been incredible. Do they have the most? Are they tied with Brazil for most World Cups ever?
Sure, let's go with that narrative. Sounds good to me. And if you're not a soccer fan, you're like, what are y'all talking about? They're flopping all over the place. if you like a brand of soccer that's not that, it's Germany. Like if you watch the Bundesliga, which a lot of us did because of the pandemic, it was the first sport that was back, right?
Oh, yeah.
But there's not going to be flopping, right? That's just not how they play. They play it true to game. I love the style of Germany. So it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I'm going to look.
It's kind of like Russia. Like Russia and Germany, you're not going to get any floppers.
No, the hard asses. So that's going to be exciting today. All right, though, I want to talk a little bit about this Dare situation, Jake, because it's not great. Again, I've talked about a lot, right? I think I struggle with my own personal biases with LSU and my kind of natural optimism where I can hand wave a lot of things away. I hand waved away losing 15 people to the draft and all your staff, right? And look at what, and key members have, and look at what happened. I don't know that I can just act like losing Dare Rosenthal is no big deal. And the reasons are many. First off, I do think that O-line depth, because of the rate at which O-linemen get injured, was one of my biggest concerns going into the season. I felt like you had 8 guys, which is enough, but it's one injury away from not being enough.
Right.
Now you got 7. Now, so maybe somebody else steps up, but in my view now, you have 7. That's not ideal. The other big problem with this is it's not just like you were losing a nobody or losing like a starter who he's a starter, but you're not in love with him. No, I thought Dare Rosenthal was going to make a huge leap this year. He still might, right? As Coach O says, he thinks he's really gotten better and wishes him nothing but the best. But like in spring, against the pass rush that was having success against every other tackle, they were not beating Dare Rosenthal. He was shutting down what I believe to be a very good group of defensive ends. When you combine that with what you saw of him last year and just the growth, like the trajectory that he was on, I was really excited about him. So, look, man, what does Andy Reid say, right? I keep going back to this offseason, but he wants the elite corner, an elite pass rusher, and elite quarterback. Well, left tackle is intertwined to 2 of those things. He protects the elite quarterback, and he shuts down the elite pass rusher. You have now lost that guy. And is it Cam Wire, who has played well in the past? I really like Cam Wire. I think I like him a little more at guard than tackle. Does Anthony Bradford step up? And then like Coach O said, who is now the backup left tackle? I mean, these are all very important questions that we now don't have the answers to, which isn't damning in of itself. People can step up, but there is now a ton more pressure applied to that position.
Yeah, you've recruited some highly touted guys that have to step up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the obvious there. Dumerville is obviously one that comes to mind. He was a great high school player. Now he's been here a couple of years. You'd like to see him either step up and take the role itself or at least take that backup role where the coaching staff felt better about it, because you're right. It's not like you lost a guard or center, and that's no disrespect to people that play those positions, you being one of them.
Even though center would be bad for this team. But yes, left tackle's way more important.
Left tackle's the position, right? It's the island. So, well, it's not the island, though, if you had a left-handed quarterback.
That's wow. You're right. I didn't even consider this. In the quarterback battle, the difference between Max Johnson and Miles Brennan actually does tie directly into this conversation.
Right.
Because if Max wins the job, then it's Austin Deculus protecting the blind side, which is I think probably what you want in this situation. I think that Dare's potential was higher than that of Deculus, but now post-move, Deculus is your best tackle. So it is that. Yeah. I was wondering where you were going with that. Yeah, so that could. This,
although I don't think
a lot of this built on shifting sands in terms of maybe where the blind side is, but still having 2 really solid tackles is critical to success. And you still have one in Deculus. Now you don't know if you have one opposite of him where you did before, and it's just a huge security blanket to lose.
And I don't think that Deculus is a left tackle. I think he's a right tackle. He's a right tackle. He's a good one. He's not a left tackle. That's just not his skill set. So I think he stays a right tackle, obviously. That's why Coach O really didn't even mention that, right? And so now it's figuring out who can take that job, because I also, like you, I think Cam Wire did a nice job last year. I think of him more of a guard than I do a tackle. Now, Bradford moving out and bouncing out, that intrigues me. Now, we all know that he's had some weight issues, right? He's been a little heavy at times, but he's athletic for his weight. We know he's strong. We know that when he's on, he's on. Can he lock in during these next 6 weeks to be able to make himself a tackle? That's why I asked Coach O about Brad Davis coming in. You got a new set of eyes. So when a new coach comes in, everything kind of resets. Like I went through a coaching change in college, and everything you built up or everything that you kind of dug your own grave for, that kind of goes away. Now you've got a new position coach. You've most times got a new coordinator, a new head coach. This time you have a new position coach, okay? So everybody's on the same playing field. So it's now from what you do from, 2-3 weeks ago when you got here until you get to training camp. So there's some guys that maybe for whatever reason weren't in favor with James Craig that could be with Brad Davis.
Yeah.
So it's there for the taking, but will the young guys step up? Because you mentioned having 8 guys now down to 7. It's got to be more than that. And that's on these young players. That's on Dumerville. That's on Dellinger. That's on, even the guards, right? I mean, there's a couple of guards. Cardell, we've been waiting on a lot of these guards for a long time as well.
I'm saying 8, and was it actually 7? Because you had your 5 starters, and then I liked Wire and Bradford.
You got Charles Turner, who last year was like the swing guy for every position.
Yeah, okay, I would say 7.5. Yeah, I consider Turner maybe he kind of wet his feet last year. Yeah, okay, there it is. That's what I was looking for. But there's a knock-on effect here, right? Like, okay, so this doesn't just open up competition at left tackle, but if Anthony Bradford does enter that competition in earnest, then you're talking about open up competition at guard, and that's where Cardell and the guys you were just referencing. I mean, again, if you're a young player, due to COVID, due to everybody returning, there's a part of you that maybe got a bit frustrated because you got 5 returning offensive linemen. My door to the field, the playing time, those important resources we have as college athletes, that door is closed to me. Well, now everything is wide open. So if you're Dumerville, if you're Dellinger, you want to put yourself in a perfect position to play, to have an impact, to get to put that uniform on game day, something you haven't been able to do for Cardell Thomas, whoever the case may be, like that opportunity is now. And so hopefully you're already locked in and working towards that improving. But if you were not, there's just no excuse. You have ample motivation to get this thing right going into camp, through camp, and then into the season. But it's bad. We'll see. It's not, it's not an impossible problem to solve, but it's going to require somebody doing things that we have not seen from them yet. All right, when we get back here, we got a little OTB mailbag coming up, and then Todd Graves coming up at 8:30. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com. DGBAuto.com works as well. Find them on Facebook at Donaldsville Glass and Body. Look, the bottom line, if you get in an accident, the insurance company cannot tell you where to go. The police can't tell you who gets to tow. The answer to both is Donaldsville Glass and Body. The collision repair, like from an accident, is second to none. Your car will look brand new, okay? But it's not just the big problems, tires, wheels, brakes, and oil change, inspection stickers. They got it all over there at DG&B. And again, if your car breaks down at your home, in your workplace, wherever the case may be, call DG&B. They'll tow it, fix it, and then drop it back off to you. The towing in that will be completely free.
They also stay up to date with whatever is changing in vehicles, right? So if you're getting your windshield replaced, well, now there's these sensors in your windshield, and you have to have them calibrated before you put on a new windshield. Well, they have the equipment already over at Donaldsville Glass and Body. They're always going to stay on top of everything. We tell you all the time, they've got it set up for success. Every place has its own section with a specialist in that section, be able to get your vehicle back to you as quick as possible. DGBAuto.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è
Call Mr. Electric today for electrical repairs, upgrades, and installations.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Summertime when the fishing's easy. At least it will be if you go get your marine electronics from Front to Back Boat Service. That's right. It is time to take your boat to a new level. You want brand new troll motors. You want cameras you can see the fish under the water in HD before you even cast. You want brand new speakers for that thing. You want Front to Back Boat Service. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com. Find them on Facebook, 225-928-9644. They do it all. That's why it's Front to Back Boat Service.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Dare Rosenthal transferring out. What does LSU do at left tackle? And how does Jay Johnson fill out his coaching staff? We'll talk. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what up, y'all? Welcome back. OTB coming at you live. Hope you are all having an excellent day. Sorry, I'm trying to bring up the mailbag questions. That's why I'm awkwardly stalling for time here and just throwing out things like I hope you're having an excellent day. But I do. But I really do. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. We made it past Monday. We're 4th of July weekend coming up, boys. Holiday weekend. Any plans around here? Anybody do anything? Yeah.
I'm going out this weekend. Looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
You said that with purpose.
Spoken like a man. Yes, with purpose. You could hear it. The same sincerity and focus that you saw out of Jay Johnson at his presser yesterday. We'll get into more of our weekend plans later. But right now, let's go and do some OTB mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for off the bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet. What the is the internet?
All right. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Has Hester found that his other senses have developed in the absence of sight? Like, can he tell? I'm not reading that. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Something about a dog and some M word. I don't know if it's bad or not. Have you had like a daredevil effect since you've been blind the last few days?
Sure, because I've had to listen to the Euros. I've had to listen to Mayor of Easttown. I've had to listen to a lot of things. So, yeah, I think so. It feels like it at least.
So if I were to, like, throw a knife at you, could you, like, hear it flying through the air and just, like, knock it away with your hand?
I could already do that, but yes, even more so now.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. And sorry, Mario, you should be reading this, but we'll just continue this as I screwed it up. What's worse, the Vandy Whistler, Mississippi State Cowbells, Eduardo Perez, or Eduardo Perez on the CWS broadcast?
Wow, it's
definitely the Whistler.
It's a lot.
We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
The Cowbells aren't as bad. It's
no,
not as singular.
the Cowbells don't bother me that bad. And when you go and play Mississippi State, I guess you know it's coming. It's not as annoying. The Whistler's just the worst.
He's just horrible.
Like, Perez isn't great on the College World Series broadcast because A lot of people complain he calls Major League Baseball games. He doesn't call college baseball. So some of the things get lost on him. I do understand that point. But come on, it's the Whistler.
Yeah, I don't really understand bringing in the the MLB guys to do the biggest college games, but
especially when I feel like the SEC Network's baseball guys are the best in all of college athletics. Like Ben and Burke and Todd.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like those announcers,
Tom,
are the best. Like, I mean, Tom's the lead, right?
Yeah.
So those guys are the best. Why screw with that?
Hashtag OTB mailbag. It's National Waffle Iron Day. Okay. Do you make homemade waffles or just throw Eggos in the toaster?
Homemade waffles. Have a waffle maker. You can get creative with it. You can throw sprinkles, so some different things in there.
I've been trying to get my Belgian waffle technique down, but it takes fluffing the egg whites, which is just whatever you whip them. I think it takes just a bit more effort than I want to do on a normal basis, especially when I can just throw some baking powder, flour, and stuff together and make pancakes in 5 minutes. So I'm more of a pancake guy when it comes to making them from scratch at home. But yes, if I was going to do waffles, it is made from scratch.
Yeah, I'm definitely going waffles.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. So NIL stuff's coming out, and Cardell Thomas came out with a logo. He's one of many athletes.
Yep.
It was a great commercial with Mertz, the Wisconsin quarterback, right? Everybody's dropping their logo, open for business opportunities. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Will OTB sponsor Cardell Thomas?
That's not our call.
No, he's our competition now. Of course we won't.
Yeah, if you're looking, I mean, we got OTB swag. Hopefully, dropping soon.
If you can't, we can't have Osher sponsoring Max Johnson or Miles Brennan. No, they got to be sponsoring us too. We got to cut these kids off at the knees. Nobody should. No, I'm just kidding. Support these kids. Kind of.
No, the logo stuff. It is what it is. I mean, I'm a big fan of a logo. We got logos for OTB. You got logo for my foundation. You can see on the computer. I mean, we got logos all over the place. So I'm okay with a logo. Love a logo.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. Is Miles truly healthy? Yeah, from what I've heard, right?
So, yeah, fine.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. When is your new cool Dungeons & Dragons show coming out? Well, this is self-serving because today we are dropping a trailer for a show that we've been working on for a couple of years now, which is me, Jay Ducote, Lindsey Dugard, Chucky P, and Trent Hill as the DM, Jay Parker, Joe Rodriguez behind the scenes, Curtis Harriman, whatever. It's a Dungeons & Dragons show. Been doing it for years. It's coming out July 11th. I cannot wait. Trailer out today.
Trailer?
Yeah.
Having a trailer for the event.
Yeah. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What are some of your favorite videos to watch on YouTube? I've got a few channels that I love. The Ambient Worlds channel. If you're looking for background music while you work from let's say you're in a Jurassic Park mood and you want something that evokes the feelings of that ending song from Jurassic Park or Potter or Lord of the Rings or whatever the case may be, Ambient Worlds is awesome background working music.
One thing I watch on YouTube is old music videos.
Really?
Yeah, I love pulling up Live Aid, Queen, performance.
Okay. I like the Key and Peele channel. Just revisit that show. It's still hilarious. Coffee Chess. Some great people playing street chess, just talking trash to one another.
How do you have time to do this?
Well, these are short things. You maybe you're in the bathroom here. You're just chilling. The kids are doing something for 10 or 15 minutes. Just whip out the phone. It just, you just get in when you can. And then, like I said, Ambient Worlds is just on constantly when I'm working. All right. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Can you use the countdown synthwave music for every break? It's honestly the best. Danny, where did you come up with because Danny is the sole creator behind the entire 80s vibes that counts down the beginning of the show. How did this come about?
What, how
where'd you get the music, the visuals, all of it?
Oh, well, I'm not going to tell the people where I got the music from.
Yeah.
That's OTB only.
That's right.
Good looking out. You passed the test.
Yeah, expect the 80s theme to come full circle. We're going to drop some interesting OTB 80s theme stuff.
Okay. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Which of the big three sports gets our next national championship? Baseball, football, or basketball?
Ooh.
It's a great question.
I'm going to say football.
It feels like football.
Ooh, does it? I mean, I can make arguments that you're kind of close in all
if
three.
the 12-team playoff happens sooner rather than later.
That's fair. That's fair, but like, is the path not more open in baseball?
I mean, honestly.
But then basketball's the winningest team in the SEC over
That's
the
what I'm
past
saying.
3 years.
All three don't feel far away.
If I had to shoot my shot, I will say football simply because you've won 3 natties with 3 different coaches.
Right.
So I just think statistically, I'm okay with that answer. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Can we get an update on the life and times of Lady Moscona? Remember, in the last episode, or second last, one of the last episodes, the Song of Purple and Gold, Lady Moscona redeemed himself by warning about the Clemson Emperor. His spirit was then freed, and he dissolved into nothingness as he passed on to the afterlife, having finally rid his heart of the bitterness that had poisoned him. Down to her very toenails. Hashtag OTB mailbag. How far away are we from duct taping T-Bob's chest hair? Danny, can we get an update here?
We are almost at 8,000. Subscribe, Off the Bench Overtime.
There we go. So, Off the Bench Overtime on YouTube. Hashtag OTB mailbag. What's the best thing you can make on the grill? Jake's got a really nice big griddle out in his backyard. It's awesome. Made some smash burgers on there. Katie did. It was delicious.
Yeah, Katie does. Hibachi, smash burgers, breakfast. I think I'm starting Team Griddle over just an OG grill.
I get it.
It's versatile.
Best thing I can make on the grill, well, I guess there's a smoker. I mean, I don't know. I've been moving farther and farther away from the grill. Doing all my steaks in the cast iron now, inside, pan seared, oven finished. So I don't know. But pork butt smoked overnight. That was incredible. Last thing, hashtag OTB mailbag. Everybody's go-to drunk food.
Taco Bell.
Pizza.
Whoa, still? You're finding your way to Taco Bell, or finding a way to get Taco Bell in your belly?
I mean, it's just I can't go away from college. I mean, that was.
Oh.
Speaking of Jack in the Box, I used to work there in college. So
wow.
I gained an affinity for eating.
Wait, the
Jack in
one
the Box.
right there off of Highland and State? Oh, my God.
Right there.
I think I fell asleep on a scooter at like 3 a.m. one time over there. Yeah, we used to smash that place. I don't know. For me, it's any food, right? It's like, okay, what didn't get eaten at dinner that's in the fridge? Cold steak, cold chicken, cold whatever. It's just anything goes down in my gullet. All right, a very appropriate question to end on. It's food related, as we will talk to Todd Graves about his new show next, coming up here, Restaurant Recovery. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to therelaxationcompany.org, therelaxationcompany.org today. That is the brand new massage place out there at Pelican Point in Gonzales. I went there and took advantage of that Father's Day special. Your boy got a 60-minute Swedish massage. It felt incredible. A great way to start the weekend. Loosen me up, relax me, chilled me out. But look, they have more functional, like work stuff out massages. They have hot stone massages. Go to therelaxationcompany.org, and right there on the site, you can see the plethora of services that they offer.
So many different types of massages you can find there on the website. Also, you can meet the team on the website, and we tell you all the time that locally owned, family-owned business, you're going to realize that as soon as you walk in the door over at Pelican Point. Again, you can book that massage online, so go ahead and book it. They're waiting on you when you get there. You're going to be relaxed from the moment you walk in the door as well. Go ahead and check it out, therelaxationcompany.org. T, if I could read that number, I'd give it to him.
Go see him today.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com. Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, middle relief, and after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help. and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225.
Join me, Jimmy, out for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're live from Mike Anderson Seafood on Nicholson, just off of Lee. Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in, OTB, and I am hyped for this next interview. We got the founder of Raising Cane's, our guy Todd Graves, coming on. He's got a brand new show, Restaurant Recovery. It's streaming on Discovery Plus. New Orleans episode premieres tonight. 7:30 p.m. Central. In Restaurant Recovery, they've taken $100K to give to 10 different restaurants, local, small, family-owned restaurants that have been around for generations, even all over the country, too. Crown Candy in St. Louis. You ever been up there? They serve your BLTs with a pound of bacon on each sandwich. I'll never forget it. It was an incredible sandwich. But the point is, helping out restaurants throughout the country. In tonight's episode, Dom Alisi's over there in New Orleans. Go check it out tonight, 7:30 p.m. Discovery Plus. Todd, what's going on, man? Thanks so much for waking up with us.
Hey, good morning, and thanks for the exposure for small business. That's what this show's all about.
Yeah, okay, so before we get in the show, though, Todd, I've always told my listeners I was going to ask you about this for years if I ever got the opportunity. A few years ago, before my daughters were born, me and my wife were walking around looking for something to do. We head over to the Louisiana Art and Science Museum. I saw a full Triceratops head. It was unbelievable. It's one of 10 full skulls, I think, that have ever been discovered. And it came out, I read that you had purchased it and put it on loan to the museum. Thank you. And it blew my mind. What made you want to get that Triceratops head?
I just like just magical things, right?
Yeah.
So dinosaurs being one of those. And when I saw it, I actually have a paleontologist that gets me and finds me these dinosaurs. He's like, this is probably the most complete skull on the planet. And I thought that was just something that was worth procuring and putting in our Baton Rouge museum. So, people like you and your kids can go see it. I know my family and I have really enjoyed it.
Well, on behalf of everyone who has seen that skull, Todd, thank you, because you're right. It is freaking awesome, and it's magical. Kind of like...
Hey, we'll have to go down there together, and then we can go touch it. I mean, you think about how many billions of years old that is. Pretty cool thing, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I'm getting giddy. I don't know if I can handle all that, Todd, this early in the morning. All right, let's talk about the show a little bit. tonight because it is a cool concept. And I'm guessing that this is not like a bar rescue at Taffer where you're rolled in like kicking over stuff like what's going on here. But Canes, y'all somehow during this pandemic, y'all managed to actually thrive, right? So what are the lessons that you learned in managing all this kind of unexpected issues what are the lessons that you learned that you're now trying to pass on to some of these smaller locally owned businesses?
Well, I mean, like you said, during the pandemic, Canes thrived. We went up actually 20% in sales, but it's because we had this drive-through format. And but that didn't feel so good because those extra sales were coming from the loss in sales from these mom and pop, family-owned independent restaurants that didn't have drive-through. And like you said, I wasn't going in like a bar rescue and telling them they're doing things wrong because they weren't. These were all great restaurant owners, many of them third generation, but they couldn't have prepared for this pandemic. I mean, no one knew this was coming, right? And so their business dried up overnight. And they're just working hard to keep the doors open, to keep their people employed so they have their livelihood while they're draining their savings or racking up credit card debt. And so, I could go in with a fresh set of eyes and really help their business during a tough time and in a lot of different ways. So one was most of these restaurants are predominantly dine-in restaurants. So it was turning them into to-go machines, right, which involves a lot of technology, curbside pickup, online ordering, mobile ordering, things like that. And then also expanding their business, like in their seating area, like Dom Elisa's in New Orleans. I expanded back into the old house where Ken was the third generation, grew up there, but we're able to really like quadruple their seating area. You know how small Dom Elisa's is, right? And to where they could actually get some capacity where they can actually make some income.
So, Todd, when you have this idea and you want to help people, like how did it all get started as far as, okay, I've got to tell someone, I've got to get as many eyeballs on this as possible. I've got to help as many people as I can. Then you work with great people like Snoop and Shaq and Rob Schneider, all these people. How did it all kind of come together once the idea came into your head?
Yeah, so I started small business, I mean, I went in commercial fish in Alaska to raise money for the first Canes, Northgate, LSU. I reconstructed my own hands. So I know what it feels like to not have the resources that I do now, right? And so we have almost 600 locations. I got 40,000 crew members. Got a lot of people that are a lot smarter than me in my business now, and so I can rely on that, But I know what it feels like not to have that, and then not to know if you're going to make payroll. And so, like I said, I was just watching these restaurants suffer and restaurants close, And so I was like, I got to do something. I'm an entrepreneur, and so I've had experience with television. I know the power of it. So one, just to help these restaurants through this period now, it was really for people to really understand what small business owners go through and to understand that the creativity that comes out of that, the diversity that comes out of it. So small business is the backbone of our economy, but we have to remember to go and shop there, right? I mean, Canes has this huge ad budget, right? And we have these big, shiny buildings with big signs. We know how to grab your attention. Most of these small business, whether a restaurant or a hardware store, are tucked away, and you have to remember to go shop there. So really I wanted people to see how hardworking and how special these people are, so you think about that more.
So it is interesting because although tonight's episode is in New Orleans with Dom Elisa's, it's not just in New Orleans, right? It's all over the country. Like I mentioned Crown Candy, right? I remember going there 10 years ago when I was in St. Louis, and it was awesome. It had all of that charm that you were talking about. What kind of what kind of cultural differences and similarities did you kind of find out as you were trying to affect change in different parts of the country?
Yeah, I mean, look, all these people were just so passionate about their restaurant, right? It was an expression of their family. The Crown Candy Kitchen has been the family for over 3 generations. I mean, it survived the Spanish flu, the last pandemic in this country. And so, it's Andy's third generation, and he's lost his father, lost his brother, and it's all up to him to keep it going, the tradition. So what I saw similarities is the passion they have. This is their dream, and so Canes is my dream. So I know what that feels like, and then I could really just resonate with them and had empathy to see that they thought this dream on their watch, these restaurants could go away. And so the passion was there. So it just felt good to help good people, and all these people would have helped me as well. But I wanted to do iconic restaurants across the country. Like we did the LA episode in Burbank, California, right? It's Chili John's. I mean, it was Walt Disney's favorite restaurant, right? And look, some of my celebrity friends came out and helped too, right? They were like, look, we need to help these restaurants. I don't want to see them go away. And so like Nelly came out. He loves the Loop. He loves St. Louis. he came out and helped with Crown Candy. Snoop came out and helped with Chili John's in L.A. I got that Shaq flew down from Atlanta to help out with the Baton Rouge episode. Archie Manning and Michael Thomas helped out with Dom Elise's in New Orleans. I mean, it was just a really cool thing to see these mega stars, lend support as well.
All right, that's a great list of names. So I've got to ask you, like, who were you most excited to work with? Had you met most of the people before, or was this the first time getting a chance to meet and work with them?
No, all these guys were my friends. It was my chicken finger adventures. I've met some pretty interesting people, believe it or not. I guess it starts with them being Caniacs, and then we meet along the way. And the ones I resonated with are the ones that, it was an easy ask and an immediate yes. You know what I mean? So
right.
I resonate with these people because we share values. So it was like, yeah, absolutely, man, I'm coming to help you out. But I guess the one I'm most starstruck with, I was Archie Manning. I was over at his new house last night in New Orleans. What a guy. I'm just like in awe of him. He's kind of one of my heroes. So I feel like a little kid when I'm sitting there talking to him.
Yeah, the Mannings will do that to you, like all the Mannings.
It's kind of insane. And now look at Arch, right? It's crazy. Talking to Todd Graves here, founder of Raising Cane's, again tonight, streaming on Discovery Plus, Restaurant Recovery, New Orleans episode dropping tonight, 7:30 p.m., helping out Dom Elise's. Again, they're investing $100K into 10 different long-term locally owned businesses across the country. Todd, so when you're entering these places, you're getting the lay of the land. Okay, you're saying, okay, this is what we maybe could improve. Here's some innovation we could do. Was there ever any situations, you don't have to get into specific restaurants, but ever any situations where you had a little consternation? You're like, I'm a little worried about this.
Luckily I had two groups supporting me in this. One, my Cane's team that were passionate about it as well. And then the film crew, the production crew I hired. These people came from the extreme home makeovers of the world and the bar rescue. So I had a lot of experts, right? And so, the needs were pretty universal. You need extra seating capacity. You need takeout. You need marketing to let people know you're opening. These common things were there. So, look, I had a whole bunch of smart people working on it. We actually had so many ideas, and I wanted to implement them all. We only had 48 hours, so it was a pretty interesting time.
Well, y'all filmed most of these. Was it challenging because of the time it was? And obviously you had strict guidelines and protocols you had to follow. So was it very difficult? You mentioned 48 hours. I mean, you got to go in, you got to get out, and you got to do it as safe and as quick as possible as well.
Yeah, man. It was nonstop from when we started. I'd see the family, we'd go over. I had to make sure they blessed. I didn't know what was important to them. I didn't want to change anything in these iconic restaurants I knew was sacred. But then we had 48 hours, and that's for two reasons. One, we didn't want them closed longer. It's just you're just continuing. You bringing in zero income. You still got to pay your people. And then second is for the drama, right? The show has to be interesting for people to want to watch and tell their friends. So they're, these guys were pros. They're like, man, you got to really make it. Where you're under the gun. So a couple of times it was a little bit of Hollywood, like Todd act like stress, but pretty much the whole time I was genuinely stressed out.
Right.
Yeah, nobody knows how to create some fake tension like reality show editors. It's
yes.
What about this, Todd? You kind of mentioned right in this chicken empire that you've built. You've met a lot of crazy people in terms of like celebrities, right? You've done a lot of crazy things. We mentioned buying maybe the most intact Triceratops skull on planet Earth, which is incredible. Where does doing this television show kind of rank, or how does it fit into all of those experiences?
Yeah, it's just a really incredible experience. Above all, it's just when you give, you get more back in return. When you help good people, you really feel good about yourself. And so I was just really touched that we were able to help these people in a meaningful way. And then that just feels good. It makes you want to help more people and live more of a purposeful life. So it ranks right up there with all the best.
Well, Todd, I can't thank you enough. Again, like I said, I've really hyped to thank you for that Triceratops skull. It's awesome. And for the show, man, doing good things for locally owned small businesses throughout the country. Again, that's Restaurant Recovery tonight, 7:30 p.m. Central, streaming on Discovery Plus. New Orleans episode. Dom Elise, see how they helped him out in a tough time. Todd, thank you so much for waking up with us this morning.
Man, I appreciate it. And then, look, it's also going to be on the Cooking Channel tonight. If you don't have Discovery Plus, you can stream that anytime, but Cooking Channel tonight, 7:30. I think I'm back again at 11:30. See that New Orleans episode. Go back and see the rest of them. Baton Rouge episode's really special with Shaq. helping poor boy Lloyd's on the stream out on Discovery Plus anytime. Restaurant Recovery. Thanks for helping for the support of small business, guys.
Absolutely, Todd. Thank you so much. And, thanks for the chicken and the skull. Love it, man. All right. When we get back here on Off the Bench, let's go ahead and wrap up our number 2. We're hurtling. Somebody said, I can't imagine a train hurtling. Hurtling with a T, not a D. We're hurtling towards hour 3. We got NFL talk coming up. We got Nick Underhill breaking down the Saints. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to AccutentBR.com today. That's AccutentBR.com. What do we say, Jake? We say service to the highest degree. Why? Because it's to play on your AC, heating, and electrical units, okay? Where there's no one that you would rather use than Accutemp. There's a reason why they have like just unbelievable reviews online. It's because they understand customer satisfaction and how to treat the customer. They also understand great deals, which is why for 2 more days through the 30th, through the end of June, if you text the word home run to 31996, you get a $49 Tiger tune-up on your AC. That makes sure everything's good to go. You avoid catastrophic failure down the road for the summertime. That's, again, text the word home run to 31996. Get that $49 Tiger tune-up.
Don't forget to ask about the generators as well when the hurricane season is coming, and these generators are flying off the shelf, so make sure that you get yours today. AccutentBR.com is the website. Go ahead, give them a call, reserve yours, and they'll come out and give you that consultation for free as well. AccutentBR.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with the certified pre-owned vehicle.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana Products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Middle Relief. We talk some LSU baseball as Jay Johnson is looking to fill out his staff. The LSU football team is also getting closer and closer to training camp and more. Tune in 12 to 3 p.m. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back. Off the Bench. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. YouTube.com/1045 ESPN. Like button. Subscribe if you're not. Again, subscribe to Off the Bench Overtime if you want to wax my chest live on air.
No, I don't want to wax your chest. Someone else will wax.
A bit that we're definitely going back to the well. We've quite literally done it on air before. But hey, some things reign eternal. And watching somebody get chest hair painfully ripped out of them is pretty funny.
I wasn't here the first time.
Yeah.
I heard it didn't go well.
We did it wrong. And so it ended up being way more painful than it needed to be. And especially directly on the nipple, there was quite a bit of pain. So hopefully this time it can maybe be a bit more effective. And it didn't even really take it didn't take as much hair out as I would have thought either. So hopefully we'll do a little more market research this time around into how to best affect the chest waxing. But we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We need to get those subscribers up and off the bench overtime first.
What's the number we got to get to?
Is it 10,000, Annie? 10,000. We're at 8,000. We'll do some other pushes as well to try to push it over the top there. Coming up next hour here in Off the Bench, we're going to talk a little Saints, a little Nick Underhill. I want to revisit Jay Johnson real quick here, Jake. Wow, and now I just heard myself say and shout out my guy Rick, who he's in my email and he says, Mr. T-Bob, I really enjoy your show in the mornings in the New Orleans market. I like the fact you guys cover all sports, whether I'm interested in them or not. I enjoy hearing about all those sports. Says, can I provide some constructive criticism? First of all, as previously mentioned, I really enjoy your show. I do not think I can do what you do in front of a mic. Thank you, Rick. It's very kind of you. Silence is golden unless you're not on the air. I fully understand it's very difficult to keep things flowing without pauses. Now for the constructive criticism. You may or may not be aware how many times you say two words, and ah. There's an and an in almost every sentence. You probably are unaware. As I stated, there's no way you can do your job. I really do love the content. People take it as assault. And I don't, Rick. Thank you.
Can I tell you something?
Somebody consider. I love the show. Try to listen each morning.
Mr. Rick also wrote me about you saying ums in my company email.
Okay, Rick. Well, now maybe you're being a little overbearing. No, that's what I'm saying. So he's not wrong,
but he loves the show, so he appreciates
no. Look,
the show.
I don't mind the criticism at all. It is, see, because there it goes again. I think that stuff like this, at times, I'm trying so hard not to let any slip in there. I think that things like this, if you can accept them right, then yeah, I think there's value here. And so for this final hour of the show, I'm going to try to be as cognizant as possible about my ahs and my ums, and let's see if something happens, right?
Everybody has their crutch words.
Yep.
I mean, I definitely have mine. Everybody has them. It's words that you use when you're trying to fill the space to get to your thought.
Yep.
So it's okay.
Now, Rick, I don't know if you needed to email Jake as well. Okay.
They already did.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's a little overbearing. I'm saying
he's just trying to be helpful.
But
look, he's trying to be helpful. He
thank you
laid
for the
it out
concern.
The right way. I really enjoy the show. I appreciate the content. I'm going to keep listening and watching. Yeah. Here's just something maybe I could give you.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you know what? Even in the most trolly of criticisms, there are, if we're being fully honest with ourselves, and I don't always want to hear it, but even in the most trolly of criticisms, not all of them, but in a lot of them, there are nuggets, right? They're not completely wrong on some of the stuff they're saying. I hate when I can feel something that I don't like, or that I know is wrong, or I just don't think it sounds good or very entertaining, and then somebody tells you it sucks, and that it's almost even more annoying. Because yeah, I know it sucks. Okay, I know, I'm fully aware, but yes, you're correct. So Rick, Thank you.
It could be worse.
There it is again.
You could look like
see.
the grandpa from the HD sunglasses commercial, like I do, sitting here on TV in multiple states, not just one state.
If only you had worn the true wraparound glasses that you had on earlier in the group text. I feel like for the show purposes, you did end up switching to the Ray-Bans, which look a little cooler. But there's still a lot of similarities. I don't think you can see this on the screen. A lot of similarities, though, between this old man and this old man right here.
I look like an undercover cop who is trying to be an undercover cop.
Yeah,
it's not good. I'm made.
That is
It's
very
not
accurate.
good.
Hey, what's up, guys? Anybody holding?
What's up, cool kids?
You got any drugs that I could buy?
I'd like 3 marijuanas, please.
Yeah, give me some couple marijuana cigarettes. Do you have a bag of cocaine, maybe?
Whoa, this went dark.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're an undercover cop, what are you gonna do? You're just gonna buy weed? That's illegal. now.
No,
It's like a misdemeanor.
you would say something like, "You got any of the booger sugar?" Like
You'd
something
be
real
like,
lame. You got any devil's lettuce?
Can I get some acid, man, or some crack?
Yeah, you definitely took this dark.
No, man. That's how you work undercover.
No,
straight to the point.
No.
Look, I get it.
You use the dad jokes. That's how they know you're undercover, and you get blown.
Hour 3. Coming next.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Ochsner.org today. Ochsner.org. Here on OTB, you know we love Ochsner. I am someone who is no stranger to orthopedic surgeries. I've had 2 labrum surgeries, an ACL. I got a plate, a few screws in my fibula. Okay, that's 3 limbs out of 4 that have had pretty major operations. So I understand what separates the good from the bad, right, in terms of both facilities and personnel. And that's why I can confidently say that Ochsner is the best. I have toured the facilities here in Baton Rouge or the Grove, in New Orleans, on the North Shore. And the similar themes are this: the investment in you, okay, and the investment in your health at every step of the process. So that means building the best facilities, hiring the best personnel, and whether it's pre-op stuff like MRI machines, the actual ORs themselves are mind-blowing, or the physical therapy afterwards, Ochsner leaves no stone unturned when it comes to maximizing your recovery and your health. Go to Ochsner.org today.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of over 155-point inspection. We want to make sure that vehicle is mechanically sound and that we have a warranty to back it up. There's no mileage limitation. You can be assured that you're driving a vehicle, you got a good value, you'll get that special financing, those special incentives on certain models, and some of the other amenities that you get with a certified pre-owned vehicle.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at PatientPlusUC.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Summertime when the fishing's easy. At least it will be if you go get your marine electronics from Front to Back Boat Service. That's right. It is time to take your boat to a new level. You want brand new troll motors. You want cameras you can see the fish under the water in HD before you even cast. You want brand new speakers for that thing. You want Front to Back Boat Service. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com. Find them on Facebook, 225-928-9644. They do it all. That's why it's Front to Back Boat Service.
Sir Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Tuesday, June 29th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect to see thunderstorms with a high of 84. In case you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can now catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. Coming up today on OTBOT, Nick Underhill joins the show to talk Saints at 9:30. You can follow today's show on Twitter or Instagram or now on TikTok at OTB_ESPN or by subscribing to our YouTube for new content every day. You can also check us out on CST. OTBOT starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Welcome back, OTB. T-Bob, Mario, Danny, Jake hanging out with you. When we had, there it is. I mean, we didn't make it 30 seconds. If you missed last segment, I'm trying not to say any ums or ahs this entire hour. So we had Todd Graves on at 7:30 or 8:30. Did I call it a T-Rex head?
You did.
I knew it. God! For years, I've been waiting for this moment. So I made sure to circle around and say Triceratops head at the end, but I had it written as T-Rex in the notes. I know it's a Triceratops head. He's probably laughing at me. Like this idiot thinks it's a T-Rex. Triceratops, one of the most notable and distinct dinosaurs. God! Just for years, you build up to this moment, and then you get the chance to just absolutely blow it. I need Jay Johnson to help me out with the scouting plan. Well,
It's
I'm very
okay. You know,
and there's enough.
3 years later, when you get a chance to talk with Todd, you can fix it.
I just can't believe I said T-Rex head. He was probably like, what's this guy talking about? It's Triceratops head, okay? Danny showed a picture of it. It's just unbelievable. Look how complete it is. Literally the only part missing is like a little tip of one of the horns. Todd, if you're listening, I do want to take you up on that offer to touch that head, though.
You got giddy.
I did. Got a little hot and bothered very early in the morning. A few things I want to talk about here. Off the Bench is on TikTok now.
TikTok.
I secretly joined TikTok recently because I've seen so many funny TikToks on Twitter. And I was like, dude, you know what? This has like Vine vibes. I'm kind of into it. Some of these guys are really funny, right? I want to see what this is all about. How do I get through the horny to get to the funny? Because that is the horniest place on the internet. TikTok is. It's insane. The algorithm's out of control. I'm desperately trying to not like or like stay on the screen for long of any of this horny stuff because I'm trying to get to the funny stuff. And it is like tearing down a brick house, brick by brick. It is just near impossible. Just now, I think I'm starting to finally kind of wrest the algorithm under control. But it's wild. Maybe I shouldn't have done like dancing as one of the things that I liked. That was where I went wrong, but I do kind of like some TikTok
probably.
dances,
Yeah, TikTok dancing, probably algorithm, just probably, yeah.
I
threw
think
you where
in retrospect, that was it.
there
But I
for.
was thinking of like the Blinding Lights dance with the father and the sons, and it's so much fun to do. But no, that's not it. It's all just young people just being horny.
I have, I don't know where this is going. I have not signed up for the TikTok.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I finally did.
don't
So I'm
plan
just
on
giving
it.
you I dove in.
I've already
my
spent enough
experience.
time on Instagram and Twitter, and I don't really do Facebook, but I spend enough time there. So I'm not going to do TikTok.
Well, just know if you do, maybe don't click the box that you like dancing. Not if you're there for like the funny skits and everything. Maybe I just have to watch like, And I've been trying to follow like funny people. I don't know. Danny, are you on TikTok personally or just through work with Off the Bench?
Yeah, I produce like video content on there. I post like video, like travel videos and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Danny, I didn't know this. Why don't you like plug your stuff a little bit?
I made a Miami video and a couple other videos.
I think that was on Twitter that I saw the Miami video. I loved the Miami video, Danny. Where can people follow you on TikTok?
Same as all my other social media at Daniel Cardenas.
Okay, there we go. Chandler White says, my TikTok is straight comedy. You messed up liking something somewhere. Look, I don't know I don't know how deep. Well, no, let's be clear. I'm not going to get caught being publicly horny, okay? So you're not, I got caught years ago, didn't know likes were public on Twitter. I'm not going to be caught in that trap again, okay? But I know the TikTok algorithm digs deep. I don't know. Are they like weaseling in past private browsing? I don't know what's going on, okay? But it's a problem. And I'm trying to rest the algorithm. I'm trying to get where Chandler White is to just the funny stuff. We'll see how it goes.
What's the funny stuff? Like, give me the breakdown. Like, as I told you, I look like the undercover cop who is an undercover cop. Like, maybe I'm not cool enough. Maybe I'm a little too old.
Okay, well,
maybe
yeah,
I don't understand.
You did just have eye surgery, so the too old thing would probably play.
Second eye, well, actually, third eye surgery of my lifetime.
Yeah, like there's a cat, Trevor Wallace. He's a pretty famous like young comedian kid, YouTube, Twitter, all that. And he just has really funny videos. He has one where he's the guy that likes to leaf blow at 6 a.m. And as soon as the alarm, he pops, it's just like Vine. Like a lot of it is just like Vine in terms of the funny stuff.
I didn't have Vine.
Oh, you never got into the Vine stuff?
Vine was better.
Vine,
it forced you to be more creative with the less time.
6 seconds definitely forced you to be more creative, but
what's the length on TikTok?
A minute, I think.
It could get pretty long. But the thing is, sure, Danny, Vine made you more creative, but like think about Twitter. When Twitter added, how many characters did they add like a year ago? And everybody's like, oh my God, these are novels. I don't like it. You like it now, don't you?
So much better.
So much
having
better.
to fit everything.
It's
Remember before the quote tweet button was a thing and you had to put RT and you had to try to jam in and then modify tweet. Oh, that was miserable.
It was bad. And so I think that was a market improvement. As much as I like the Vine concept and having me creative within 6 seconds, it was also just maybe a little too short. So I actually do appreciate the bit longer TikTok. Ryan Matthew really hits the nail on the head. It's just Vine, but it's run by the Chinese government for data mining purposes. Yeah, let's also be clear about that. Last year, there was a story where TikTok had actually gotten caught. Something you agreed to in the terms and services were allowing them to copy everything out of your Notes app. And so if you had any like passwords or anything in there, that was all theirs. And they got called out for it. And they were like, oh, it's just like, it's just something,
What was their reasoning?
It was like some BS hand wavy, like, it's like something for security or something. Like it was just like, we're not going to stop this. It is, it's a Chinese company. What are you going to do? Emil McClellan's right. Vine did launch the Paul brothers, which, hey, them.
Launched a bunch of people.
King Batch, remember?
Bunch of people.
Wait, we already had this conversation. We did this entire bit. All right, let's move on. I just wanted to see if anybody else was experiencing the same thing that I'm experiencing on TikTok. Now, imagine, Danny, yours is horny by design. Is this correct?
My feed?
Yeah.
I don't even look at the feed. I just post content on it.
Okay, so you're not even going there to peruse.
I lose brain cells when I look at the feed.
So I was just about to say that. Where it is most like Vine is I can find myself getting caught in this wormhole where you look up and 30 minutes have gone by, you're dumber, your brain has done absolutely nothing for the last 30 minutes. It's like if you go watch a Vine compilation on YouTube, there's just these black holes. It seems like they are artificially like engineered to just entertain our dumb human brain while gaining nothing of value. It's kind of incredible. Other things I want to talk to about this segment. It's some breaking news by our brethren in the Jordy Culotta Show. They had Darius Days on this morning, and they asked Days, are you coming back? Remember, we kind of had been flirting with the idea that maybe he would because the draft prospects weren't checking out quite like he would. He grew a lot last year. He would be one of the big returning names who would kind of be heralded and celebrated in a way. Well, here's what he told the Jordy Culotta Show, quote, absolutely, last ride for me and Coach Wade. So Darius Day's back in, dude. We just talked about who could maybe win the next national championship. That's I struggle to know the general college basketball landscape like you do, Jake, so I don't know how close LSU is. But between Efton Reed going through the legs and shooting threes, the new badass guard they got, Darius Day's coming back. I had questions, could Wade rebuild, especially with all the noise, and I think he answered those questions pretty emphatically.
No, I think when you look at the metrics of what this team was a year ago, when Darius Days played well, they won. And when he didn't score in double digits, they lost. I mean, it was almost, black and white. It was just, it is what it is. And he is so key to this team. He was with last year's group. He'll be with this year's group. I'll be honest, I just didn't know what the opportunity was. I didn't know the chance that he would come back and be on this team. So to get a guy who's a good shooter, who is a wing player, they needed him on this team. And because you were hitting reset. I mean, you were completely hitting reset from everybody that contributed to a team that made the NCAA tournament, wins the first-round game, pushes Michigan to the brink there a year ago. You lost everybody, but now you get a piece back. You get a veteran who has been here, knows Coach Wade, knows the system. And if you go back, like I mentioned, he was so key to the success or the failures of LSU basketball a year ago.
How do you feel about this? John Sola saying, going to love to see what Days can do, not being forced to play center all game. That is true as well, right? He can play. He can play a much more natural position.
Yes, I mean, you can be creative with him because he can play a 3, he can play a 4, but you don't want to stick him in the middle. I mean, he is too valuable of a basketball player. He's too good of a shooter. Now, he's a really good rebounder. I mean, that's something that you want to be able to utilize that skill that he has, but now you have other options. You actually have people who can play. Like Watford was the size to play it, but he liked having the ball at the top of the key. Okay, so now you get away from that and you have guys down low that are going to have the length, they're going to have the ability to rebound the basketball. So, Days down there is Lanyard, but you like to use him on the wings.
So you know college basketball very well. You made quite a bit of money this last season. Did you gambling college basketball?
Yeah,
it felt like you did.
Basketball.
You were on heaters.
Basketball is where I get into my groove.
So you're making your nut. So what about where does LSU kind of factor into the big picture? Is this a top 20 team? Top 15? If you had to kind of just sit here today, nothing binding, nothing marrying, but generally, where are you at?
Look, they were already a top 25 team. Days coming back, I think it puts them in that 15 to 20 range. Okay. Now, why I don't say higher is just strictly on we have to see what the chemistry is like. You have to see what the chemistry of all the pieces that they're adding. How does that play together? So once you see them on the court together, that's going to kind of give you a better narrative of which way to go. But they have the talent. And Will Wade has done a hell of a job coaching this team. And we always throw out the stat, the most SEC wins the last 3 years. So all those things combined, to me, they're a top 15 to 20 basketball team with pretty good room for improvement as far as they can get into that top 10, in my opinion. Now, it could go the other way. If the chemistry's not there and they're not gelling together, they could fall back to 25-30 range. But for me, this is a team that's going to make a run in the SEC, be in the NCAA tournament with a chance.
Yeah, so I guess it's definitely a situation where when you're relying on new faces, and you're seeing this with Kentucky, it can certainly be the range in which you can fall becomes much wider, right? Yeah. In terms of being good or bad. So fascinating to see where they go, but really good news today for the LSU basketball program. Shout out to, again, our friends of the Colada Show having Days on breaking that news. When we get back, Nick Underhill's coming up at 9:30. Going to talk some Saints as he always does. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. Go see him off an airline today. Again, if you want to rent, they're way cheaper than your traditional rental companies, and the selection is incredible. So if you want to just try out the Sienna maybe for like a family trip or something, go for it. Try out the Camry. Do I fit in it? I mean, I do. If you're saying, do I fit in it? Okay, go try it out. How about this, though? If you need to sell your vehicle, All-Star Toyota wants to buy. The market is as good as it has ever been and arguably will ever be in your entire life. So the time to act is now. If you want to upgrade, sell to All-Star, then turn right back around and buy a car from him, okay? Support Off the Bench.
Look, we tell you there's so many different things. I mean, we've mentioned the rent a Toyota right there on the homepage. It's that time of year, vacation, baseball trip, maybe you need a little bit more room. Obviously, you can do that, right? You can go rent a Toyota for the weekend. It is right there on the homepage. Again, buy a new vehicle. So many different options to choose from. You can literally do it all over at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Check them out on the website, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week. Check it out at 1045ESPN.com, the Citizens Bank Fan of the Week.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
All new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. And with Bayou to You, free delivery right to your door. Need repair? Our service department is ready and available to help you today. The crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Dare Rosenthal transferring out. What does LSU do at left tackle? And how does Jay Johnson fill out his coaching staff? We'll talk. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome back to Off the Bench. Just did some TikTok research in the commercial break, trying to see if I have managed to control the TikTok, and I had 7 funny videos in a row. Not a cleavage in sight before we got back on air here. So, making progress, boys. And that we're all trying to do in our lives every single day, just get a little bit better. Hell, I kind of liked what Coach O said hour 1 when he was talking about what he does at this time of year. Kind of sit back. It's a time for self-reflection, okay? Speaking what you want into existence. Let's be honest. Where do I need to improve? What can I do better? Okay, Rick, you've already helped me today. Stop saying and ah. And I'm trying my best, and I will continue to try to do my best. So it's a time where I got to say, to be honest, Coach O did kind of inspire me to maybe sit down, take a couple hours, take a few minutes, however long, get inside my own head, write some stuff down, and see if you can't make that come to life. Remember, that's how the Pelicans got Zion Williamson. On this show years ago, we spoke it into existence, they would get the number 1 overall pick, and lo and behold, look at what happened. Now, the Pelicans franchise is still doomed, but hey, you got Zion.
How much
for at
Pelicans
least another year.
did y'all talk yesterday? Because we talked about it, was it Thursday or Friday, Mario? I think it was Thursday with Jeremy. Jason Kidd, Mavericks, Rick Carlisle going to the Pacers. You're starting to, the Nets got, who else got a coach?
The Blazers got Chauncey Billups.
I forgot that. That's official. And then the Nets assistant, where'd he go? He went to
Jacques Vaughn.
Javon's not hired yet. Ime Udoka went to the Celtics.
No, Jacques Vaughn is the Pelicans' main
target
right now.
There is some people are getting hired, and I really haven't heard that much from the Pelicans front. Are y'all getting a little nervous?
I can't be nervous after the last hire because I can't. I'm done. I've told you I'm done pretending to know what makes a good NBA hire or not. I've talked my way into Stan Van Gundy.
Last hire though, how? Last hire, the only person that was coming after Stan Van Gundy was the Dan Le Batard show for a weekly segment, and you hired him as your head coach.
Yeah. Well, Steve Kerr had never coached before, and he won finals. Steve Nash had never coached before, and they made the playoffs and did well.
But again, at least those guys were players. They understood it.
Yeah, but Stan Van Gundy had an actual excellent playoff resume.
Yeah, but in between there, he had a big failure in between there.
Yeah, you're asking me how I justified it, and I'm telling you how I justified it because the Pelicans needed to improve defensively, and he is viewed as an expert in that. And his resume in terms of wins and losses, even with the bad, there was still a lot of good to celebrate. So, sure, I talk about but it's not even just Stan Van Gundy. It's the fact that, again, the offense got better and the defense got worse. So nothing matters. I throw up my hands when it comes to NBA coaching. I'm done trying to pretend like I have a take that has any legitimacy. You want to hire Jason Kidd? Sure, what the hell? Go hire Jason Kidd. Jacques Vaughn? I don't give a damn. Just win games. Win games. That's all I care about.
I think it's clear that David Griffin didn't really have a good gauge for what his players and what he wanted because, like you're saying, it was a safe hire. He was supposed to come, crack the whip, get him to play defense. That didn't happen, but maybe David Griffin needs a little bit better understanding of his players and exactly what kind of coach they work for. And as far as who they're hiring and Hester's question about getting nervous, they might just be waiting on Charles Lee the same way LSU was waiting on some of the coaches in Omaha for their baseball team. He's the hottest candidate right now. Jacques Vaughn is somebody who's also on their radar, as T-Bob said, but Charles Lee kind of seems like the hot candidate right now.
So if you get Charles Lee, you probably hire a lead assistant that is, veteran, savvy. Maybe he's been a head coach, maybe failed somewhere else. That's typically the route that you go. If you hire the assistant, the up-and-coming guy, then you'll go get someone that can be your X's and O's guys that can help you in those situations that you've never really been in.
Yeah, I heard somebody bring up Mike D'Antoni, which is kind of pie in the sky. I don't think he'll come to New Orleans, but somebody in that mold, like you're saying, a veteran guy that's been a head coach before. The one thing with Charles Lee that worries me a tiny bit for the Pelicans is the Bucks play really slow pace. They're a defensive team that has, Brook Lopez, Drew Holiday, and Giannis Antetokounmpo on the team. But with the Pelicans, that it's obviously not the same thing. And one thing I hated about Stan Van Gundy was the team played really slow pace. They don't have to be on fire, a million possessions like Alvin Gentry, but they relied way too much on the half court, and that seems to be Charles Lee's coaching style.
Yeah, we'll see where they end up going on that front. I can't help but think back to that David Griffin answer where he was just painfully honest about look, man, maybe I don't know, maybe I'm not the best at hiring coaches because I keep having to do it.
He did it in Cleveland too. He hired David Blatt, which
That's what I'm
didn't work
saying.
out.
And I forgot about
which
that.
looked like a very forward-thinking hire. Championship Euro coach. The game's getting more global. Bring him over, sure. And then it did not work out at all.
LeBron James and J.R. Smith hated them. Again, he doesn't have a good gauge of what his players
wanted. And it took him
wanted.
a month to land on Van Gundy last time. Maybe they're just waiting on Charles Lee, or maybe he's suffering from that indecision again. But yeah, I learned my lesson. I'm not blindly applauding, or I'm not going to even disparage. Just win, win games.
I still think Zion needs to be involved. I'm not saying he makes the decision. I'm not saying you let the players dictate what goes on, but you sit him down. He is your pillar. You say, okay, hey, here's some candidates. What went wrong with Stan Van Gundy? What would you like to see? What do you think helps the team win? You don't, again, let him make the decision, but he's involved in the process.
We feel comfortable, though, that Zion is involved, right?
I hope so.
Extremely. Yeah, they already fired the coach.
Yeah, I'm sure that they are picking his brain without that. Him and Brandon Ingram. So what's all this? All the Dame Lillard stuff's dead now, Mario, right? It never should have been alive to begin with. If you're leaving Portland because you're upset with the ceiling that you've entered. Like, you don't want any part of New Orleans. It's not going to make you happy.
Well, if he requests a trade, he does not have a no trade clause in his contract. So, I mean, it's not really up to him in terms of that.
For sure. But what would it be beyond however long it's a rental, right? He's not going to stick around in New Orleans if he were to come.
He just resigned. He just resigned his contract. So, I mean, I'm sure Portland's going to do right by him.
What's his age?
He's 32, I believe.
Wow, Dame's up to 32.
Yeah, and I'm
now.
sure they'll do right by him, and he's done so much for that organization, obviously, similar to how the Pelicans traded Drew Holiday to a really good team. So maybe that's a factor, but in terms of
you think doing right by him? Okay,
No.
I thought you said doing right by him is trading him New Orleans. I'm like, what? It's like sitting at the basketball hell.
No, let me finish my point, which was if you look at the teams that have, the most to offer, the Pelicans might have the most to offer because not only do you have a young all-star that you may be willing to part ways with in Brandon Ingram, but you have 1 million draft picks. The only team in the league that has more first-round picks on deck than the Pelicans is the Oklahoma City Thunder, but they don't have a player like Brandon Ingram that you could trade to get somebody like Dame Lillard back, and the Pelicans are in a really desperate situation, frankly, to make the playoffs next season.
If they did that, if they made that move, if they packaged BI and some draft picks to get Dame Lillard at 32 years old, how do you feel about that?
Let's go. Let's do it. Okay. Let's dance, as Sion says.
I mean, I don't think I'm ever upset about adding Dame when Dame's still in his prime, right? He doesn't seem to be slowing down. And again, just win games. I think adding Dame Lillard helps you win games because he's a nice, cool killer. That's all anybody cares about.
I love his mentality. I love everything about him. I think he has a chip on his shoulder that will literally never go away, like in his entire life. Like when he is old like me and he's wearing glasses here, when he's doing studio work, like he will still have that same chip on his shoulder, and that's the way he attacks. Like he has like a real Steve Smith, the old receiver for the Panthers.
Yeah, hell
mentality.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
Steve Smith broke a guy's orbital bone.
You just said it. That's a really good point because obviously Zion and Dame on the court at the same time is a really scary thought, especially offensively. But just the leadership, the intangible stuff that Damian Lillard would bring. I mean, look what Chris Paul is doing for the Phoenix Suns right now, and Damian Lillard is a lot closer to his prime than CP3 is. So that would be really exciting. I would not hesitate on that at all. If the Pelicans have a chance to get him, I feel really bad for Brandon Ingram because he's been in trade rumors pretty much his whole career, and he's been an awesome player. But you pull the trigger if you're David Griffin.
Brandon Ingram, Brandon Cooks. Any surprise? 2 All-Stars, both very successful, but both keep getting traded because they're not quite so good that you fall completely in love with them. I'm just kidding. Look, I think BI and Zion's the future. How far are you willing to go to bring back Hart and Ball?
Lonzo seems like you need to bring him back. He seems like,
because Zion loves him.
Yeah, not just because of that. I mean, he's like 23 years old. People forget he's not even in his prime yet, and look how much he's improved. So you might have to pay a little bit there, keep him. Josh Hart, I would like to keep him. I think it depends a lot on whoever they hire as a head coach. But depending on that, you try to keep Josh Hart because his ability to rebound as a guard is really valuable. He can pretty much start a fast break from wherever he is on the court. He leads all NBA guards in rebounding the last 2 years. So keep him if you can, but that's going to be completely dependent on the next head coach because he was not happy with the situation before.
No. Last bit of news here to close out the segment. Screw you, J-Bob. So apparently LSU is rumored. Now Jay Johnson was adamant yesterday that he is like, in terms of making out the staff, he feels like that is kind of on the back burner in terms of importance. Dealing with the roster, learning the roster, improving the roster, transfers deadline, all that sort of stuff is first and foremost. But there were reports out there who's going after Texas Tech assistant, a guy named J-Bob, which obviously the content
would have been unbelievable.
I know. So I'm upset. Mario, you're saying the latest reports are that J-Bob is staying in Lubbock.
Yes.
Coward.
According to David Collier, who works for a TV station in Lubbock, he says that the SEC has come up empty again in pursuit of J-Bob Thomas. Wow. We've learned that Thomas has turned down Jay Johnson's offer to become LSU's assistant coach / recruiting coordinator. Thomas remains completely committed to Texas Tech baseball.
2017 assistant coach of the year.
Committed to Lubbock?
The dude, that's what I was about to say. The dude loves Lubbock. Yeah. Hey, that's blue collar right there.
What does J-Bob stand for? Like, we know what T-Bob stands for.
Jerk. Jerk Bob, without a doubt. No, I don't know. I'm sure you're a great guy, J-Bob. When we get back, Nick Underhill, New Orleans football, talking Saints, even though there's been almost nothing in the Saints news cycle. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
What a tease.
OTB, OT.
Got to cut my knees out from under me right there, didn't I, Bo? Go to AdvantaClean.com if you want to avoid having your knees cut out from under you by some crazy weather, fire damage, water damage, mold damage. They solve it all at AdvantaClean. Remember, if you're a small business owner, after this last year, or a big business owner, you understand the price of being shut down, right? It's horrible. You can get a response plan in place for free. Evaniclean will come out of your place of business, check it out, and then put together a plan so that if the worst does happen, you're back as fast as humanly possible, back to business, back to making your income.
That's right. That peace of mind's only a phone call away. They do so many different things, though. But as we've been telling you over the last couple of weeks, right, because of the weather we've had in Baton Rouge, because it's vacation time, if you go on vacation, you're gone from your house 7 to 10 days, and you come back and you've had a leak, you have mold, make sure Evaniclean is that call, 225-475-9323. Make that call. They'll come fix all the problems at Evaniclean.com.
369-5228.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in.
Join me, Jimmy, out for the Tuesday evening edition of Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We're live from Mike Anderson Seafood on Nicholson, just off of Lee. Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria. Weekly New Orleans Saints updates with Nick Underhill on OTB are brought to you by former LSU Tiger and attorney Chris Perrette.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back off the bench. T-Bob, baby, we're hanging out with you. Jake's had to sit this one out. His vision is quickly deteriorating. Look, it's just so light sensitive. The vision is better. His eyes are so light sensitive. We're in a studio, which, as you can see, has look at my arms. Look how pale that is. If you're watching on television, there's a chance that you need your own sunglasses. So he's going to sit this one out. I will not, because I'm a proud New Orleans.football subscriber. I love the site. If you're a Saints fan, you will too. Sign up for New Orleans.football today. Let's go to the phone lines. Nick Underhill, at Nick_Underhill on Twitter. Nick, what's up, dude?
Yeah, Jake's pretty washed, so that makes sense that he needs to get his eyes done and everything. So
yeah,
this all adds up.
He's old, he's washed, he's soft. If we're being completely honest, look, to be clear, huge thank you, Jake, for coming in today because he's in a lot of pain. How about this? I'm not even gonna try to segue. You're on the site right now, Nick. You have one of the coolest initiatives that I've seen, and that is over the next month, right? We just talked about it earlier this show. All the sports are about to end, and we're about to click fully into football season. Over the next month, you are almost putting on a camp of sorts for Saints fans in that you are going to dive into the weeds and teach, the fundamentals of how to watch Saints football. Like today, the issue is the coverages the Saints play and how to identify them. Give me the kind of genesis behind this idea, because I absolutely love this idea. All of us watch football. 99% of us don't have much clue of what's going on.
Yeah, sorry. It's what you just said. I mean, I think back to how much work I've had to put in just to use some of these terms and that. And look, it becomes a lot easier just to say, hey, they're playing quarters coverage, but you got to take time out to figure out what that means, or this guy's playing 3 tech on the defensive line. Like the first time you hear that, you don't know what it means. And a lot of people probably don't know what that means. And we throw those terms around, and look, it makes the writing a lot easier to be like, oh, he's like, instead of, you say what technique they're playing instead of, oh, he's the wide 9 outside of the shoulder of the tight end rushing. And we throw these terms around, and people probably have no idea what they mean. And they say them on TV and they say them everywhere. So the offseason's slowing down. Just take a step back, dig into some of the stuff, and write some guides that people can use to find out, the stuff they don't know, and maybe brush up on some of the things they do know, but maybe there's a piece missing. And if you are, an expert on all this stuff already, there's still things in these articles that I put in there that I think can help just deepen your understanding, just how often they play some of these coverages, their success rates against them. And we'll do that for everything. But, I think it's important for, people to understand this stuff so they know what they're looking at. And that's one of the things we try to do on the site is maybe try to raise the level a little bit and help the things I know. Because really the way I try to approach my job is that I have access to all these people, coaches, players, all that stuff. I'm just trying to find stuff out and teach you what I find out. So yeah. I'm learning and I'm trying to help you learn. I'm trying to take the information and make it approachable and digestible for everybody else to get a little bit smarter about what they're watching. So I think just kind of building that foundation and kind of having a glossary of sorts is helpful to that effort.
Yeah, and let's be clear, right? I've studied a lot of football. I've watched a lot of football. I'm not the best when it comes to coverage. I learned a ton in that article, and because it is so Saints specific, if you're like a real big Saints fan, it helps you gain so much more insight into the team itself. And it's like anything else in life, right? You can go watch golf and it's great. You can appreciate an incredible putt or like a long drive. But when you go out there and you do it, or you understand some of the nuances better, you're going to have more appreciation, like chess, like anything in life. So if you're tired of just kind of passively watching football and you want to go into that extra dimension, New Orleans.football and Nick can bring you there. It's a great idea, Nick. A really, really good idea. Something else that I loved from your Twitter this week were some videos of Jameis Winston rocketing the ball, bro. I mean, the arm strength is on display in these videos, whether it's a deep out, the deep ball. It is a far cry from what you've experienced as a Saints in the last few years. How about this, though? We know all about Jameis's arm. What is the view on Taysom's arm right now? Because certainly last season, some of those deep balls were the worst things I've ever seen in my life.
I'm about to bring up like a July talking point right here. But, one of the things that I find interesting, and I'm chief among the people behind this talking point, and I apologize real quick. I'm battling a non-COVID throat thing, so if my voice is a little bit weird, that's it. And in a weird way, it's nice to get a non-COVID illness. That's something that we haven't had in like a year, so I guess the world's back now that we're catching common colds or whatever. But,
yeah.
one of the things that I find interesting is that we believe that Jameis can completely change his decision-making process. But for some reason, we don't think Taysom can speed up his decision-making process. And we're kind of given this just, he can fix all these things and Taysom can't. I'm going to be interested to see how these guys look in camp. I mean, we've said this a million times. You see everything Jameis is doing because he has this cameraman there, and his cameraman knows how to use social media, and he's putting all this stuff out. And we see the growth and the progress and just different things to get people excited. And, Taysom's behind the scenes, moving in silence, doing whatever he's doing. And we don't know what he's going to emerge to look like. But, he is working on his footwork and all that stuff. And he says the reason that he wasn't able to get the ball out quick enough last year is because he weren't in the proper position and ready to throw when he saw things. So he's working on fixing that so he can make faster decisions. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if he can do that. And if he does, I think this race gets a little bit tighter because, everything that Taysom can do in this vacuum, if he becomes a good version of himself, he's a very good modern quarterback with his ability to move and all that different stuff. But yeah, going back to the deep ball, Jameis's deep ball is something definitely to get excited about. One of the passes he threw was a 20-yard out route. And over the last 4 years, Drew's only hit 4 of those in a game. So that would be an element of the offense that would come. Jameis wasn't exactly lighting those up there in his time in Tampa Bay. I think he had 6 or 7 over his last 4 years as a starter there. And, the difference though is that Tampa didn't have a great offensive line. They were always playing from behind. They didn't have a running game. You had all those elements that he'd have here, good line, running game, get some play action going. You get in some of these deeper passes. I think that elements of the offense would just be back in place with him. And like you said, I don't know if you get all the way there with Taysom because, those deep balls, he can get it there, but they aren't sharp. They aren't on a line. They're kind of hanging in the air. They're getting there. Yeah, he gets the job done, but it's not the same. Like, Jameis is, like you said, they were on a rope. And it was, it's exciting to see when you're looking at that stuff and you're thinking about the Saints and how they've played. And then you see this guy that's, to be real, his arm's stronger than Breeze's ever was. Breeze had functional arm strength, but it wasn't ever a cannon, and he got the job done. But, Jameis has a cannon, man. And the stuff they could do with him. And then you saw the video with Deontay Harris. He's, doing all this stuff down the field. They had on a 73-yard pass down the field. Like, that's just stuff you didn't see in Saints football. And if he can bring those elements and fix that decision-making, there's a chance for it to be legitimately – but there's still so many ifs to get to that point.
Yeah, and let's be clear. I've always my old man always raised me as understanding that arm strength is the most overrated part of quarterback play. But I'll be damned if it isn't sexy when somebody can throw that thing 80 yards. It looks good. And shout out to Real Supernola, which is where the video came from on Twitter at Real Supernola. Let's talk about Deontay Harris, Nick. We've flirted with this topic a few times this offseason. But he had some real shining moments and real big plays last season. And then obviously injuries kind of upset some of the progress that he had made. What are your expectations for him and how he factors in? Like if we were to do a weapons hierarchy for whoever the quarterback is to throw to, where does Deontay Harris fall in that thing?
Maybe like fourth or so. Maybe he'd be like in an expanded Joe Morgan type of role. I don't know if you remember the year Joe Morgan had. I think it was 2013. He averaged like 20 yards a catch. It was just really a nice explosive element for their offense. I think he could do some of that, but I think he's also maybe the plus part of that is important because I think he can do a little bit more than run go routes. He looks good doing a lot of different stuff. Playing more towards the boundary. I think you got to do things to protect him and make sure he isn't taking too many hits. Because, he is a smaller size receiver and he's have popped up over the years. But, I think that he can be a legitimate weapon, even if it's in a reduced fashion with someone like Jameis. Just you can take advantage of that speed now and you get some of that Tyreek Hill element, going down the field where you just got this guy that's faster than everybody and can just run by him. And, I don't think they've had that. And he's a guy that would get blocked at that. He's the guy that can hit that 20-yard out route, and Jameis can fire the ball in there, and it works. And I just think that he has there's a lot of exciting elements that I think that they could bring out of his game, and they tried to last year. There were a few games where they had Deontay specific game plans to get him going. The Raiders was supposed to be one of them. Didn't quite work out that way. I think you found out quickly that Breeze was fighting through some stuff early in the season, and the ball just couldn't get there. but they do have these plans to make him, this type of mismatched player. And, I think a lot of that is dependent on the quarterback. And either one of these guys, Taysom doesn't have the greatest deep ball, but he has a deep ball that can get there more so than Brees has the last couple of years. So I do think he's going to get unlocked and be an exciting piece for them.
Talking Nick Underhill, New Orleans on football, and my throat too, Nick. I don't know what's going on, but to show you how New Orleans on football runs the gamut, here's a June 23rd article, how cap guru Kai Harley became the Saints' secret weapon. And for those that don't know, Kai Harley is kind of the brainchild behind a lot of the Saints' manipulation of the cap, which is very forward-thinking, very ahead of the curve. It's found loopholes. What is Kai Harley's future, right? Like when you come up in the way that he did and you're doing things that are so potentially game-changing, do you think he wants to just stay in New Orleans? Does he have aspirations of being a GM himself one day?
He danced around that exact question a little bit, but I do think that everybody that works in the front office has aspirations to be a GM, and he isn't someone that's really out there like that, that's really pushing for it or anything like that. Some other guys will openly answer that question. Jeff Ireland has openly said that he has aspirations to be a GM again, and he's working toward that. I do think that Kai would definitely take those calls and be open to it. His name came up in a couple different places actually this offseason. But it would be interesting to see if he actually got that job. I don't know if there's another step between being senior VP for the Saints, before you become a GM, maybe an assistant GM somewhere, just to kind of learn a little bit more of that evaluation and some of the other things that I think you need to know as a general manager, how to run a draft, all those things. I know Kai's involved in a lot of their free agent decisions, valuing them, and some evaluation of the players has to go into the valuation, money wise, of those players, and he's involved in a lot of that. But as far as scouting, team building, all that stuff, I think there's probably maybe some stuff there that he could pick up at another spot. But at some point, I think someone is going to make a run at him. He does a lot of stuff with the cap that's just ingenious, and he creates different ways to manipulate it that other teams have picked up around the league. There's a couple things in that article that we pointed out that he brought up, like, just different ways to structure roster bonuses, essentially, that are tied to option years on contracts, just so you don't have to pay it that year. And then once you have the cap from a couple of years down the road, you hit the option, then you pay the roster bonus from 2 years ago. And, that's $2 million you save on the cap. It's just like a lot of little things through necessity that he's figured out ways to manipulate the cap that other people just have never had to think about or come up with. And these things that he comes up with then become adopted by other people across the league. So he's quietly like an influencer just in the salary cap space. And, his name's just been out there more and more. And I think this year getting that $100 million burden off, getting under the cap and really not getting rid of any key players. At some point, someone's going to say, we have to have this guy. And the Saints are going to have to figure out, hey, do we fight to keep him or do we let him go? If they let him go, they get, 2 third-round picks like they did with Terry Fontenot. And, that's not a horrible outcome, but I think losing Kai Harley with the way they run the cap, that's somebody that you don't want to let out of the building.
Nick Underhill, at Nick_Underhill, the best when it comes to the black and gold. Again, the site is neworleans.football, and that is run by Nick. All proceeds, it's not going to any corporate overlord. It's supporting the work that is done. Nick, thank you so much, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, when we get back, closing up with a little Ask the Bench brought to you by Cold Course Light. Get your questions in the YouTube chat. We'll answer them next.
OTB OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Yo, Jake here for Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic, the place that's going to be convenient for you during an inconvenient time. Look, you hear me talk about my 4 boys all the time, and sometimes things like stitches, well, they happen. And in fact, they have. And Patient Plus is always taking care of us, just like they'll do the same for you. And now with 7 convenient locations across the Baton Rouge area, open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m., 7 days a week. And also at patientplusuc.com, you can sign up for your appointment on the way to the clinic. That's Patient Plus Urgent Care Clinic. Get in and get better.
Summertime when the fishing's easy. At least it will be if you go get your marine electronics from Front to Back Boat Service. That's right. It is time to take your boat to a new level. You want brand new troll motors. You want cameras. You can see the fish under the water in HD before you even cast. You want brand new speakers for that thing. You want Front to Back Boat Service. Go to fronttobackboatservice.com. Find them on Facebook, 225-928-9644. They do it all. That's why it's Front to Back Boat Service.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Join us for a Tuesday edition of Middle Relief. We talk some LSU baseball as Jay Johnson is looking to fill out his staff. The LSU football team is also getting closer and closer to training camp and more. Tune in 12 to 3 p.m. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, it's time for a little Ask the Bench, brought to you by
Cold Cures Light, Busy Heart Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet.
Ask the Bench, should LSU try to recruit an ambidextrous QB? Sure.
Yeah. I don't know if there's many out there, but
no blindside.
Do you know Macho Man Randy Savage was a minor league baseball player, could throw left and right-handed?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Billy Wagner once broke his arm and learned to throw with the other one. Ask off the bench, who will play left tackle for the Tigers?
If you ask me today, Cam Wire is a safe answer.
Yeah. Anthony Bradford is the big
Bradford is the get in the lab and see if it works answer.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Will Jameis Winston become the best quarterback ever, and why will it only take him 2 seasons to achieve this status?
No, he won't be. I don't think that's going
Danny, do you want to correct
to
Jay? Or do I have to?
Let Jameis cook.
Yeah, let Jameis cook, first off. Yes, he will be, and it's because of Sean Payton.
Okay.
Going to be eating W's all year.
All year long. We're going to eat at least 9 to 10 W's during the regular season. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Can we teach T-Bob how to say massage?
Massage.
I said it right. Massage.
No, massage.
Massage.
Look, I've
been trying to say
a lot of words wrong. It's okay.
During the reads, it's
I don't think anything bad about it.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Would you let the individuals in studio review your internet search history? And this is not just like if you actually clicked on the history. This is like your true history. Like, so if you go private browsing or something, they're still seeing what you're looking at there.
Yeah.
You let us in the room look at your history?
I think this question's directed towards T-Bob more than anybody.
There's no chance.
I would like to see your Google search more than your history.
My Google search, that's what I'm saying, though.
Because things pop into your head and you'll say them out loud, and I always wonder, how in the hell did he get there?
Yeah, for sure. Google search would be interesting, but you're not going to find anything juicy in the Google search. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Maybe like this celebrity's genitals or something. Ask the Bench. Can we get Jake a taser so every time T-Bob says or he gets tased to help?
I like it. Just like one that's already in. I had a buddy, like the one that shoots out, and then every time you say it, I just pull the trigger.
I had a buddy bring a hand taser on a bachelor party, and that was just shenanigans.
Why? But why?
Because he's just an a-hole. He's one of those he's the wild card, the Charlie Kelly of the friend group, and he would legitimately tase you.
Now, see, if you tase me, we're fighting.
It didn't
and
feel
not
good.
like play fighting, like I'm beating you up.
Yeah.
If you tase me.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah,
no. Good. Don't tase your friends, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Don't tase me, bro.
Off the bench.
OTB, OT.
I forgot about that video. I didn't forget about RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. Look, man, you don't have the energy you used to rolling out of bed, rolling into bed. You're missing out on that youthful feeling. You got memory problems, fatigue, memory loss, like whatever the case is. Let Rejuve Me be the guide to getting you back to your best and most youthful self. And it's in a unique 3-step process. You're the lifestyle expert. Figure out how you're living, what could change there. Draw your labs, figure out exactly what your body is telling them you need, and then they create a customized plan for you. Maybe it's HRT, maybe it's not. The bottom line is that they will get you back to feeling like your best self.
Yeah, my age has been talked about a lot today,
It has.
and they are the age-defying clinic over at Rejuve Me. So go check them out. RejuveMeMedical.com is the site. You can find a full list of services that they offer, conditions that they treat, which is so many different things. Also, if you've got questions, you can get that consultation on the website, or you can pick up the phone, give them a call, ask them anything that you might need at 225-230-4201.
A certified pre-owned vehicle means that it's been certified by factory-trained technicians. It meets a stringent criteria of